on YouTube and Facebook. I understand we are not live on TuneIn, so we apologize for that. Unfortunately, there's little we can do when we sit here. But thank you. Thank you for your time, and thank you for joining us today. Today is Thursday, the 27th of May 2021. What that means is that starting today, I think that starts with my group, Group A. Some communities in Accra will go off the electricity grid from 7 p.m. From 6 p.m. 6 p.m. From 6 p.m. to 12 midnight. From 6 p.m. to midnight. So from 7 p.m. to 6 p.m. to 12 midnight. So that's 6 hours. Peak hours load will be shared. Problems with generation. In fact, we have more generation than we need. We are paying for too much more. But we still have to share load at peak hours in the name of doing connections. Some of these connections happen in the night. So in the night when the load is highest, they have to share load. And they have to share load so that they can connect things. That is what we are being told. And so that's what we are hearing. And so I just informing you, in case you're in Ghana, they're starting today. The Dumna CSA will start again. I think that's what the Energy Minister, National said. Dumna CSA. Doom Fix. Yeah, that's how he calls it. So Doom Fix will start today. And on, I think it's June 11, right? Yes, and on June 11. Somehow, it will take from now to June 11, your light going on from 6 to 12 midnight for them to be able to fix whatever they want to fix. And so I think it will start with my group today. We're in the first group, we are still here. Yeah, as for us, they never leave us out. I don't know why. So we are in the first group. Somehow, we are on both the Pokwasi and the Kasua line. So, both the Pokwasi box supply affectors, Kasua box supply affectors. I don't know which one we operate on. So we operate on two lines, but our light goes off as constantly as it can. So it's very interesting the kind of common language you are hearing nowadays. So please do pay. If you are in Ghana, just by way of announcement, your light to go off. Very, very important. Your light to go off today from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight in order for them to do late night connections. The workers who are working on the box supply lines are only free at night. During the day, they have other things to do. So they are free at night between 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. It's like when you call an electrician and he tells you, oh, today they have a lot of contract, so I'll come at 6. That's the problem with the workers who are doing. So they will they are only available to do the connection from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight. That is all. They have another contract they are taking care of. My name is Senan Nombo. Once again, thank you for joining us. And a very good morning. Meanwhile, the president has a simple message to you if your excavator was bent. The president says, go to court. If you think what I am doing is not proper, please, the court is the way. Start and head straight to court. So that's on the front page. The Daily Guide is carrying that. So go to court. That's from President Akufo-Addo. He was speaking during when he was cutting sword for the construction of the Law Village for the Ghana School of Law. We understand they are building a law village. I hope that law village means that a lot more people get the opportunity to go through legal education. So, in case you're watching me this evening, if you're in Cantonments, Golden Tulip, Alliance Française, Osu RA, Abelemkpe, Awudome, Kanishi Market, Sampa Valley, Tetego, Banana Inn, Abease, Gbawe Top Base, Matahiko, Glepe, Akoko Photo, Wesley Grammar, Teshi Mamle, Teshi Composite Plants, Aglezan, Yomo Specs, Labadi, Nana Chrome, Matechuru, Airport Hills, Maxmat, Otano, Zoom Lion, Ashali Boshe Old Town, your light to go off. Please, I took my time to mention this for you. And for the next 16 days, so if your light goes off today, it will go off on Sunday. Then it will go off on Wednesday. Then it will go off on the Saturday after that Wednesday. Then to go off on the Tuesday after that Saturday. Then to go off finally on Friday. So that is the timetable we are working with. And the light will only go off from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight because the workers we have that is working for the contractors for the Electricity Company of Ghana currently are doing some other very important work. They have some other very important contracts. So they can only operate in the middle of the night. And that's why we have to take off your light at that time so that they can do the connection. Okay, so it's very, very important. So do take notes. So that is it. And also, I was just going to take you through the story in the Daily Guide. I guess Boachi will do a bit more when he's doing the newspaper headlines. But I just wanted to give you an idea what the president is saying. You know, we have been asking questions about why they've decided that the most sensible way to deal with this issue is to ban excavators. Because of our deep-seated problems as Ghanaians. One of the biggest problems we have is issues with the quality of our roads. There are issues with our drains. All this requires. So sometimes all you need to do is to do a few patch-up works in some places. If you can find an excavator for a local assembly, you won't believe the difference it will make in fixing problem with flooding in some areas. Because there's several local assemblies where places where ordinarily people did not settle, there are people settling there. So they need to find the waterway and perhaps just do a makeshift rain. Just use excavators to dig the ground a bit deeper so that rainwater can find a way around, so that it will prevent so that it will prevent the flooding that a lot of local communities are going through. I have some where my mother has settled now. My mother has one land where she's built on, and she has that kind of problem. All they will need is an excavator to excavate a drain sort of by her house, and then the rainwater will find space to go through into sort of a stream that is there. So that is an easy way of getting through and solving those problems. So there are several questions about exactly why we are banning excavators. It's not only the matter of people whose excavators have been banned being angry. It's also a matter of those who, the fact that we may also need those excavators for some other activities. And so the questions have been arising, why wouldn't we keep those excavators for the purposes, even distribute it among local assemblies? And also that the law does not actually allow you to ban excavators. That the law has prescribed a way to which you can take care of those excavators. Well, this is what President Akufo-Addo has to say. And the story is why Charles Techibuedu, Eric's very good friend, was as President Akufo-Addo has asked any individual or groups who feel the government's clampdown on the activities of illegal small-scale miners is unlawful to go to court for redress. He is unperturbed about criticism coming from some quarters against the action of soldiers chasing these illegal miners and destroying equipment being used to destroy the country's water bodies and forest reserves. Speaking at the sword cutting ceremony for the commencement of the $55 million Law Village project in Accra yesterday, President Akufo-Addo said, "I know there are some who believe that the ongoing exercise of ridding our water bodies and forest zone of harmful equipment and machinery is unlawful and in some cases harsh. I strongly disagree, and I will advise those who take contrary view to go to court to vindicate their position if they so wish." Let me read that. That's a quote. This is exactly what the president said. "I know there are some who believe that the ongoing exercise of ridding our water bodies and forest zone of harmful equipment and machinery is unlawful and in some cases harsh. I strongly disagree, and I would advise those who take a contrary view to go to court to vindicate their position if they so wish." The president, a lawyer, said that, quote, "I should know the Ghana law reports of modern times are littered with cases in which my clients thought it necessary to challenge government action in the majority of the cases. The courts upheld my contention. In a few others, they did not. In the majority of the cases, the courts upheld my contention. In a few others, they did not. End quote. Adding, quote, that is the rule of law, which does not recognize social status, religious persuasion, political affiliation, ethnic origins, or regional adherence, merely the law and precedents. The Asian common law doctrine of stare decisis. He quoted the Minerals and Mining Act 2008 703, the vehicle through which a mineral license is acquired and confers mineral rights on the holder. That says that they quote, any person who without a valid license conveys any equipment, quote, any person without a valid license conveys any equipment onto a piece of land purportedly to conduct activities from the search, reconnaissance, prospecting, exploration, or mining for a mineral commits grievous crimes against the state. Indeed, a personal possession of a valid license but undertakes a person in possession of a valid license but undertakes mining in water bodies or mines unlawfully in protected forest zone also commits an illegality, he said. Apart from the criminal violation of Act 703, he said, quote, the activities of such persons desecrate our environment, pollute our water bodies, and endanger the lives of present and future generations of Ghanaians, end quote. Adding, quote, their monumental crimes should not be condoned in any shape or form, end quote. He therefore insisted that, quote, the presence of champagne in water bodies is illegal, as is the unlawful use of excavators in protected forest zone. That's end quote. The president said that this is him saying, quote, the devastation caused by these equipment is nothing short of evil, and we should not compromise in our efforts to protect our environment, forest reserves, and water bodies. The story continues. I quote, another quote, I say with all emphasis at my command that no rights can accrue to or flow from the criminal venture of Galamsey, end quote. He noted, whilst insisting, quote, the equipment which is being used for illegal or criminal purpose cannot confirm on the owner or any other person any rights whatsoever. And then he continues. Let me end the story. He therefore appeals to the public, including many in the opposition, who are so doing, to rally behind government in these efforts to stamp out what he described as, quote, far-reaching illegality and criminality, rather than advocate for the protection of non-existent rights of persons caught in these evil acts, end quote. Quote, I swore an oath on 7th January to be faithful and true to the Republic of Ghana. That's exactly what I'm doing in the fight against Galamsey, end quote, he assured. He therefore paid tribute to the Ghana Armed Forces who stepped forward to perform their patriotic duties in this exercise, saying, quote, they deserve the loud praise of the nation. Sometimes I ask myself, how do you determine criminality and illegality? How do you determine criminality and illegality in a constitutional democracy? It's a question I constantly ask myself sometimes. I understand that in certain circumstances we do not have time to be going through the process of courts. We have to stop whatever is going before, if we have anything to do legally, we'll go ahead and do it. That's what I understand. But I don't think there's any law that confers on the president the authority to determine who is engaged in illegality or who is not, and who is engaged in crime or not. I think that is the duty of the court, is that not? It is a court that makes that determination. That's one. Secondly, the reason the president is many excavators is not because the people are engaged in illegality. In fact, some of those excavators, we are all confident and we are all sure. We all know for sure some of those excavators, where they are coming from. The excavators that they couldn't account for in the first fight, where are they? Where are they? There are people who are using 5 or 6. Look at the number of excavators they said they counted when they had gone to, what they call it, the mining site of the NPP Women's Organizer. The NPP's Women's Organizer has those numbers of excavators. In fact, somebody counted over 100. I think they said 400 or something. Excavators in the Itua area alone. Where do we get those numbers of excavators from? And what happened to the excavators that were seized in the very first exercise? What happened to the excavators? Who is counting the number of excavators that they are burning? Because you see, there's a trust, I don't know why, but there's a trust and credibility deficit when it comes to the fight against illegal mining as since being fought by the president and his henchmen. The reason we are asking the question we are asking is that why this approach now? And let us not always assume that, Charlie, we all know what has been happening since 2017. There's no new fight against illegal mining. Let's not sound like all of a sudden the president just walked into office and has started fighting illegal mining. It is not true. The president started fighting whatever form of mining. Because remember, in 2017, a moratorium was issued that everybody engaged in small-scale mining, illegal mining or whatever, they should all leave their sites, their mining sites. That was what was determined in 2017. 2017, that was issued. It took months for them to leave that moratorium, for people to go back to the mining sites. So that's how long we've been fighting illegal mining. Or it's how long we'll be fighting the activities of galamsey or irresponsible mining. Or alluvial mining or whatever they call it, mining in water bodies among others. It's how long we're fighting activities of people who actually pump out rivers into certain drains so that they'll use it to watch their gold. After they are done, the wastewater that's left, they pump it back into the river. That's how long we'll be fighting it. Since the president walked into office in 2017, there's no new fight against the exercise of irresponsible mining or illegal mining. Let's always remember that this is not new. It has never been new, and it's not going to be new. So let's get that clear. So when the president says, I am fighting, what they call it, he's fighting, he is committed to this fight. Which fight is he talking about? The one he started in 2017, or there's a new one? So between the time when he fought in 2017 and the time when the people returned to the field, they have gone back to their old activities. So the small-scale miners who he's asked to go back, are they the ones perpetrating the new illegalities and criminalities? Or there are new people who are emerging from nowhere? What did we even achieve with the last fight that we engaged in? And why are we using this approach now? Because the first one, when you started burning excavators, people complained and people stopped. You started seizing them. And we thought that was the best thing to do. Because we really need those excavators. We are a small country. A small country. There are road projects that are essentially, this assembly can perhaps put some small resources together and do. That can be done. And when you give them those excavators, you empower them to do those things. These are not new. So why are we burning excavators? That one too, we are bringing long English of what the law says. But there's nothing in the law that he quoted that gives the president the authority to burn excavators or equipments. In fact, what the law says is that you should confiscate the equipments. I am told that you send it to the nearest police station. And they are supposed to keep it and protect it. That's what the law says, I hear. So the law does not give him the authority to burn excavators. That is the decision of the president. It's an administrative decision. So I think it's right when he says you can go to court. So if your excavator is burned, you can go to court. But Mr. President, much more importantly, I would like to hear what we attained with the very first fight against illegal mining. After you came to office and claimed that your predecessor did nothing to fight the practice that we are seeing, galamseyers, miners who had license were mining in areas that they didn't have concessions, that they didn't have license to. Miners who were mining, who were using, people who had license, who were even engaged in irresponsible mining, and acts that were clearly illegal. You said we're fighting all those. And you said everybody should leave. Nobody should go back to their sites and mine again. They all went back. There were several, we did one story after the other here about small-scale miners complaining about the fact that a lot of their colleagues were dying. We did that. We did all that. Small-scale miners telling us every day, daily, their colleagues were dying. People who had taken loans who could not pay those loans. There are people who they said were very rich who had become paupers overnight. Who suffered because when you came into office, you decided that you want to fight the exercise this way. You took away their concessions and decided that this is what I wanted to do. You did all that. So the question is, what did all that inure to? Did we get any benefits from all that? Why wouldn't we get accountability in that first before we move on to any new thing? Right now, all we see is that you are going to the bush, you are burning excavators, among others. Anyway, now Sadofo Abe is saying a good morning to me. Mohamed Sani Akime says a good morning to us all. Estella Gracela says good morning, Go Power Drive. Dakwale says a good morning. Sherry Fenekavoko is also joining us. Hello, Mawe Lom, Habib Bantus. Nalam Leo Datelamse is joining us this morning. Alasan Sule. Nemo Classical Fear Boa Bright. I think there's a problem with our internet connection in-house, and that's what is affecting the tuning. We'll see what we can do immediately to resolve that. In the meantime, let me just take you through a story on Ghana Web, where Occupy Ghana has raised issues with the decision to ban excavators. And this is Occupy Ghana. They said they have created, the Ghana Web headlines the story, burning of excavators, Akufo-Addo has no respect for the law. Occupy Ghana. The story was published, it's published today, 27 May 2021. And the story is that Occupy Ghana has criticized President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for disregarding the law and allowing the military involved in Operation Halt to burn confiscated excavators from individuals and companies found mining illegally. Kweku Segbefia, one of the leaders of the pressure group, told Joy FM on Wednesday, May 26, 2021, in an interview monitored by Ghana Web, that such activity is inappropriate because there are laws set out in the Constitution that prescribe sanctions and punishments for persons engaged in illegal mining. Hence, setting ablaze machinery is in breach of the Mining and Mineral Act. He said if the president is daring people to go to court, if they feel the burning of excavators is not in line with the law, then essential, he's trying to tell us that he has no respect for the law. Essentially, he's trying to say he has no. Segbefia added, the law states clearly that if you arrest a person that is using any of the materials, you grab the person and take him to court. You hand over what machinery the person is using to the police after the person is convicted. Then the court will hand over the equipment to a minister, who then assigns the equipment to any ministerial agency of his choice. That is what the law says. Let me quote Segbefia again. Quote, that is, Segbefia says, and this is Segbefia from Occupy Ghana, not Ale Segbefia, Segbefia from Occupy Ghana. It says the law states clearly that if you arrest a person that is using any of these materials, you grab the person, take him to court. You hand over what machinery the person is using to the police after the person is convicted. Then the court will hand over the equipment to a minister, who then assigns the equipment to any ministerial agency of his choice. That is what the law says. He further accused the government of failing to enforce the laws governing mining activities and rather fighting Galamsey menace with illegality. He noted the government lacked the temerity to prosecute perpetrators responsible for the degradation of the country's lands and water bodies through Galamsey. Kweku Segbefia said every aspect of Galamsey is covered by law, so much so that if the government had done its work to apply the law, not a single of our river bodies would have turned brown. How did we get here? We got here because the government waged an epileptic fight against Galamsey, and they lost the fight when they let Aisha Wan go scot-free. In fact, when they first arrested her, they were afraid to charge her with the proper law and charge her with the law that she was going to pay 3,600 Ghana cedis. When there were laws that would have derived 3.6 million Ghana cedis from her, and when we appeal and wrote that to the Attorney General to amend the charge, then they took her out of the country because they could not bring themselves to try her by the law. That is how we lost the fight against Galamsey, he stressed. President Akufo-Addo on Wednesday, May 26, noted, So that's Occupy Ghana's response. They said they waged an epileptic fight, a fight that was very defective. So Occupy Ghana has been responding to the president's claim. But let me say a good morning to Prince J. Carlos and also to Baba Soliso, who says a good morning to us. Your efforts in the fight against corruption and impunity in Ghana is laudable. Nana Franchi sent a good morning to us. Wonderful to see you, Nana. I hope you're well. Let me say a good morning to Loma Wilom once again, and also a good morning to all of you for joining us this morning. Once for a good morning to you.
Mr. Anubo, good morning.
I hope you're well.
Nyame adom divine selection also
by the grace of God, I'm well.
Very,
very well.
Yeah. You're my tea for watching. Your mama Kwaba.
Yeah.
And a brand new day. Thursday, right?
Yes, today's Thursday.
Okay. That for Friday, Nyame Ashisha, so we should enjoy. Yeah. Near the woman in Mara. Amenchia Ghana phone na omo mutugalam say na omo omunya bintu. Isanse omo aban enisunti. But enyina epe o man ye. Anopai mamenchia aye professor na Jono Poko Ajuman. Na me manachi. Na finso no mama na kwaba because enra me ni shia ba bi so ya we.
Yeah.
Nti ba na dem gidi se wa baba bedu. Na menchia me ame madam aye honorable Christa Poko ya soya. MP for Agona East constituency. Na menchi obo bi ada kon opoku.
Okay.
Obo bi ada kon opoku. Na menchia NDC national chairman. Chairman of Usuampofo.
Okay.
Na machia Samuel Ambre. Former NP Asen North. And squad go Western Region Enra. A program Kasia and a project. MP for Agona East editor wa omunyina do musunsum ene omunim de beta dwumadi na chini yankopon hira wo na yemo ma mene so abaso se na enra kura me course no ye frɛ ho Agona Fahia number 2
Agona what
Fahia
okay
ana Fahia nze look omo wo de your pronunciation na different the Agona Fahia number 2 ewo Konyako Nkwanta Mankron achi ho baby utimeso fa swedro be fa duakwa ewura mu ho baby na enra me notice bibi se yen members of parliament a won kura kesi mu no MPs common fund minim kwan fa so chene so omunya ne equal there I think say yen hwani review na MPs a omo villages no senanumbo yeah omo enya kese mfa nyampuntujuma in our villages no because ekwan bi nye ofa yen constituency here for instance apart from rules bia enye wo mu no menye sure say sabankra kaso opasase project wa obenya
okay
onya mebo a oko Vanderpool constituency wono mo a whole rules no dey metimi aka say dodo na aye but kakra bi anye fa choko side honum choko rules no cry papa ebi om de omhia da bridge na sensor bridge no kasa bridge no a okoko ye ni no so apart from street lights aye all cities ni benya no senano mbo menye sure say ehia bibi ahia o hanom but when you go to the rural areas now you could see say akwanye your baby on so light in ho no water in soon sem enye papa enro krone course no ma me na yekoto no they are from Volta region
okay
na yekope wa chbd o ma me no ne ni de bon komo na ye bon komo na mu se o kan gbe a kire ne ba keto ba ko so woni ma ba mi amediem enti ma ba dia ne na me ne hyehyɛ so ha o so free agbozume na ya wono ho na we kro na o se ya wono mu na se na dan o mu 20
yeah
I'm imagine some years back ni part do say ne o kro mo
it means that they settled there
so ma me na nyini oni ne ba ya ono so aware ya wo ho no na say wow you know sometimes in so ha no so okay e ho ekoko grown area
okay
in so ne de omo pipe na your pumping is any bi no borehole na pumping ni bi no and I'm say mo nsu bi etene ho no but ye nya kwan because of your time ne adwuma ye kodi nti etimi anko it is na the tintinity and say as o man no Ghana no yare aka no nti say ye review all the sectors na ye ma ye rural areas no so enya mpuntunwuma na o ma kwan market outdoor nsu on benom lighting system say etimi eye adwuma o hwe expansion na previous government ye any eye if anything energy na your reserve e ho no ma ne yusu ye enka ba now nana dan ko ku for Dubai o ye na dwen se o ye adwuma ka believe se ba now no ye koyenim ti Ghana no nye no an yakra ba bi wo abeko network enye adwuma it is sometimes we be say ho say safo yi emergency bi aba ekwan be no mbe faso a ombe leave o mabrabo we nim nyina ne man ketenkete a asoman no ese etimi hwebo ne ye resources kakra nyankopon de amaye no etimi ede ye enima papa ne nya sika ye tenkra ha efom no because amafo okra se bre no amafo okra se bre so de wo nyame adom so ga ko pay town and a city say a town
No, it's a town.
it's a town but
City.
yeah a city or town
No, it's a town.
it's a town
I'm just
and
surprised
Soga,
that you say you're calling
yeah
it.
and no Soga udu Soga ne Soga nya you Soga e baby a hobby Soga e baby a hobby Krubia obenya secondary school ni niema bi banks na de dum chese ho na guy for na ho what you say but ni it environments no and ya na your problem
Yeah.
what you say you know it's about time I see timi hwebo a o hwe rules a papa is o mayan Ghana ye rules kra na yesen aw makeka manfo so mu hu you know ona mo kwinsta poko aso ya ni team ni na ma mencho na mo mabaso ye be come details at appropriate time omampani akufo ado say and before me ko ho no emze Manchester for mamenchia mo ya de me mo mas one video no e be ba ho no later Manchester for ya de mo mas mo ya de cup na no na mo pese mo gino na e cup European Continental Cup but unfortunately emze ne mbo ya no mo ye no Unai Emery Unai Emery
He has a history with that. Cup.
yeah unim say wa call 5 finals yes or the Sevilla call 3 and or the Arsenal call 1 na 4 me boa and or the Villarreal I call the 5th time.
Okay.
The only trophy I Europa went to me anyi a team back up and stop no near me team Chelsea na okita Arsenal you're born 4-1 so quite apart from that game no every Europa finals abapana bobiano waje minye sure se coach bi abakita sa history no.
No, when it comes to Europa League, no.
Say 5 finals or we need 3 consecutive times so with Sevilla or we need 2 or 3 Azan Woko what you say it is about time I say one more name that cup after him Unai Emery Cup na Unai Cup and no beat me aboa and no introduce you Obi our program national and as a United supporter and now MC Bago say or Chelsea against United supporter on Chelsea grab you know was as you on man nursery and that for the akakugu.
So the MC is a Chelsea supporter.
MC me cram into me we share the but zero monetary power monetary social media. And the consider would mean share the no King Farouk Zobaho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Farouk.
Kaswa.
Yeah, Kaswa or Zobaho na the two bomb for trophy obedience na uni menams odi papa to na me had yes. Over to na me had here. Manchester supporters ni nyina no. Say nya ya na yen sana no.
Oh, but me I told
but
you.
And when I mean who's a team no. Mo coach no Edekiana.
Which coach?
Ole Ghana Social.
Ole Ghana Social has no business coaching United. That's my view. I've always said that.
Because the way I know address I say after game no was sorry program.
But he was prepared.
And what you know, only Bible quotation is a day. I saw the program no was a day. I don't know what I say, but watch the sample. What was 3 semi-finals? Udimini Bia. Then once one in the Musa, say, Austria or Qua. Etienne no Zidane ko. Zidane from Madrid. And Antonio Conte is of Inter Milan.
Oh, Zidane is leaving Real Madrid.
Yeah, no.
Antonio Conte has left.
Yeah.
Hey, seriously?
Yeah, Conte.
Why?
Is gone. I say, Kasem. He opposite team no maintaining on best players, you know. And
cut salaries.
And salary cut to be bomb. But the matters in the BA. Say Sikani ho.
Okay.
But I don't know one Emma he said on better on maintaining best players, you know. But club president at Trakan and Mamatias yes Sikani ho.
Okay.
So there's no way omo enye sales so can say. Until we are there
they will sell some of their best players.
Yeah, they are going to sell some of their players. And a view because of Jessica Semunyentino, they need I think over 80 million euros to salvage situation on them. So yes, salary cut to be ready.
Okay.
So no,
everybody has to sacrifice.
But I said team in Yena Papa the Yena was New Year the idea. You know, be an open pass now or better was a cut in the salary.
The problem.
No, but
Inter Milan is run by
Chinese.
Yeah. And not China for no. Even now, which teams some of what Chinese league in Kabibri as a song with because new companies are taking over it. But old companies because of the COVID-19.
Yeah.
Needs to come responsibility.
has affected. Okay.
So then the Chinese owners are saying that Charlie, because of the COVID, we don't have the money again. So we have to sell players and also reduce salaries.
Then we should throw away Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and go and pick Conte.
No,
Conte is available. Zidane is available. Allegri is available.
Manchester United problem technically no. Alex Ferguson.
Or influencing team.
Yeah, what that's what you. 3 days ago, now Moko.
Poland.
I understand what your issue. I don't understand your issue.
Maybe.
When Ferguson was there, was he not winning trophies?
I am coming. I am coming.
Allow the person in there to work.
Sana, you get me. What am I saying? Ferguson be coachy United from 1986. Sa 26 years. And of course 2013. Now, whether or shares or club name or whatever, you name say Manchester United there and one Ferguson. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
What coach from the 80s and what the about 26 years now call. Sana leave the club, allow the chief executive officer to bring in technical men and also fresh ideas. But what on and are impose coaches on the team.
You know for a fact that he's
exactly. We know as I say.
But he brought Moyes.
David Moyes.
That's the only decision he made.
Yeah,
on his successor.
The subsequent coaches in
how
you cannot make appointment. I'm coming. We appointment at Manchester United. I don't consult Ferguson.
No, but that's the choice of the person who is in charge.
Why? Edward?
Yes.
Now Edward about Manchester. Edward came to Manchester. So technically, Papa when the kita team.
No, that's a failure of management. It's not
him.
No, it's not by force. The person is old. You decide to consult him.
Ferguson bet me and Edward they call. Ferguson me Edward. Who influencer Ferguson in Manchester United so. Man player.
But even if Ferguson was influencing, the last time we won the league, Ferguson was in charge, right?
Yeah, that was 2013.
So why do we have a coach that can't win a league and you are blaming it on a coach that has a record of winning? But if the coach did not want him there, would he go there by force?
Coach is in national seal.
And I thought the coach played under him.
Coach is national seal.
So he's the coach who wants. If you do not like his influence, you walk out on the team. You don't have to sit there.
Maza, what was our contract? Now you're more millions.
Have you heard who's complain that when he was there, coach was unnecessarily influencing him?
Coach Bepan was already said apart from Zidane, and Antonio Conte Diano, Oje 7 million kodi. So it was a mutual consent.
Yeah.
And I used to the answer say so mutual Zidane Diano. Masa, Obi Koye Obroni Nyasadi no. What is that? Morino, our kid out of the contract. Sorry, what's view on them, George? What you say? 18 till Ferguson. Ever 10 one from Manchester technical bench, you know. I'm the new Abano. Let me say, more fun to no Contiba, me because I know the kind of coach who ye. If Antonio Conte said me come Manchester United, I know someone in your league, you know, next season, would there 2 years or Baji League, I know the caliber of coach or ye.
And you believe that even with the influence of Ferguson, he will still deliver?
You have to sack me, Conte, or a no nonsense man. Sack the Aquacrad when you go 18 years. He has no business with Manchester United.
Sack him from what?
Sack Ferguson.
Position.
Okay, because the more now, more permanent now, more cosano. I don't know why
but the truth is that
your technical problem.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has no business coaching United. That's a simple, straightforward matter.
Who brought him?
Is the team that decided to keep him there?
Do you want to tell me, say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's appointment? You know, now Uja for no him hobby.
But why? What is the what position that Ferguson holding the team? What position does he hold?
Unofficially, no. And unofficial, no.
If you go and consult him, Boache. If today,
a man who has coached a club like, or managed club for 26 years, Sana, over catch him so who your chief executive officer. Now my head Juma Hanum 26 years. Now about Thomas as staff, and a former year, and that's what you mean. Me too far.
Oh, but it depends on you. The failure or the success of the team depends on you. If the team fails, you go. Ferguson will not suffer, would he? So it depends on you. You decide whether to take it or not. So I don't blame Ferguson for anything.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Ole has me. Ole, I have always said I don't see the business Ole has in United. Simple and straightforward.
Etimude ekose yana ebebo antu de sa mo be ne sa ne ha.
Because if Ole is there, see, next season clearly from the season United has had. Next season United should be competing for the title. But if Ole stays there, United should be competing for the title. What? All you need is to make a few changes, buy a few players, like 3 players. You're done.
3 players. More free 2 players here. More than Pogba buy 89 million pounds. How many years in here?
And you people haven't bought players. Lampard bought a whole team.
But
did Lampard not buy a whole team?
Or 6 or 7 players. Ebi Colon. Omo wakaso honomo.
So we are all buying, no so.
But President Barobi and we turn 89 million pounds. Sana Andra
89 million pounds. That is your best. How much did PSG buy Neymar?
Oh, na say PSG sika ono enye. Sana mama ka semcho. Andra me roho ye. Na me hwe game no. Na me nim say munye change o. Hwe. Mo first change eba 100 minutes. Na ufa Manchester first 11 no. Na ko he bench wono ma no raho. So your Manchester supporter. Quality be any bench will be. Sure. Villarreal started your changes. From the 60th minute. Manchester first change came in the 100th minute. Fred, Axel Tuazembe, Daniel James, Juan Mata, Alex Telles. MC players Papa Ombo no. Oma kanina iPhone kwa the man friends you
see Abi Bantu says RKB pointing neighbor pointing tree. Chelsea is playing soon. Cry your own cry.
Dabi
leave Man United.
Dabi my dada.
Oh no, but you people, you see,
see
that's why I don't know what you're debating over, because but for the introduction of that coach, people will still have been in decline. So what are you talking about? So me too, I'm saying that based on me, I've watched Ole over and over again, and I'm convinced that Ole shouldn't be in charge of the team. I insist on it. As I told you about Lampard, that Lampard would have done a better job if he was learning. He was too complacent. Didn't I say that?
Now complacency comes in when you are performing. You are not performing, so how come
believing in who don't you see the kind of teams he plays?
Oh, I know there.
Anyway,
but Senano Enra, Temana me wo aguna no. na aye na nado danko Akufo-Addo so ewo UEW na yesi Napo gets doctorate for free senior high school. What a beautiful nonsense award. Senanumbo. My sister just called me on my way to this place. Say PTA for shia omo postpone here. Omo say nyame aduma 2nd June. School should be start PTA. Nkwara ba be school nka me nim say PTA because all started as exam 16th August. Tika June July 2 months to your friend saying exams there. O kwa hold PTA day. Also yeso muntu esika bi friend day intervention.
Who?
From 3-4.
No. Please.
You
said your sister.
My sister just called me. The fair lady, no. So school or from 3.
Yeah.
Now they were supposed to had your friends say a PTA meeting somewhere last week, and now postponement by. It offered Thursday to inform me. On my way to Hanomano, she called back, and Oka said almost 2nd June, and a PTA in Babaso. But yes, some maybe to escape your friend intervention. Yeah. Intervention. Na amount of my intervention. She mentioned the word intervention. And we just say,
yeah. You said what? The word is intervention.
Intervention.
Okay.
Yes, some to escape in a scano. Your friend intervention. It minimum do buy me intervention can be intervene. Bibi or the common coco intervene. It no PTA the member so 22nd. So says cannot meet you in Tina or free parents. No. Sikana or meet you in Tina. On Baby Hodi, your friend is saying PTA meeting on 2nd June. School their memo. By interventions can buy similar meet you and
yeah.
How much room do you intervention?
Okay.
It means share Napo. I don't know. Like UEW. See at the Kromo Anamana. Vice Chancellor who has be by and as a more court. Afubruni.
Yeah.
More time. What is an MEC?
Reverend Father.
Yeah. Afubruni ne Assembly Supreme Court. Ani Mbuaye. Edo Mpani fa hono mkuku see Vice Chancellor for. So okay.
Yeah.
MP before a year. Encrophobia, one more or day certificate in name of your mom home. I am more Jumano no. Cause schools will be one more dear. One more no mumping for a head. It will acquire idea because me who any sense in it. Say, oh ma Napo doctorate degree or whatever for free senior high school.
Huh?
Napo get doctorate for free senior high school. And right, you know I'm the command no. Free senior high school implementation of free senior.
Okay, that's what the doctorate is.
Yeah,
doctorate in free senior.
In free senior high school. What a beautiful nonsense. Honorary whatever.
Doctorate in free senior high.
Yeah. Napo award on the man no. Sana yen school so bre. De bia last me be kai. E to me nam no mo bom ho aba so without any quality job be on my okrum hanom. It is a president. One man can say in your control system no entiempa body ni moye na wiase hunu say ye yade meanwhile ye bre abodwan so no dwan ship if you frete pa o sweat but no nwinti Ghana for sweat but ye hu nwinti man for ntimi hunu eno enkoda honom hwa president Akufo-Addo matisa mo sen krofo bi say on famra nya adwuma na senso eno mo hunu zade no. Once I say he has no respect for the law. Now we can't be on. Say Nana has no respect for the law.
Yeah, that is Occupy Ghana.
Occupy Ghana.
Yeah.
Na ene no mahuna. Ene no mahuna. Say no. Ene no mahuna.
We have a lot to talk about. Napo's doctorate is for free senior
high school.
Okay.
And Nana so
has no respect for the law.
No respect for the law.
Yeah.
So we are ready.
They are now finding out.
What I say?
Graduate.
You see, who go school your certificate? I say I now behave you. So go school. Now so go acquire law. Me a more law certificate. Now face say, oh Father, do I want me more a carpenter? As a Yesu nene papa. Yesu papa Joseph no a carpenter ni Yesu. Or send you money free. Father, do I want me more? I don't just say Yesu be a carpenter ni o. E tu go school ni a more certificate. Juma Woody ni.
No, who are you?
Now those law certificate back no. Ni lawyership no.
He never said he went to any school.
But about say no be a lawyer.
It's apprenticeship.
Na sana numbo. Apprenticeship and akwa no di na china man certificate na.
No.
Should
I explain to you?
Yes, come in. Yes, you are there.
In the UK at the time when he was there, you can become a lawyer, okay, by serving a lawyer for a period of time. It's a whole exercise of apprenticeship.
Okay.
You learn on the job.
Okay.
So he learns gradually.
Okay.
And then they called him to the bar in the UK, the Temple.
Okay.
And then whilst they called him there, he said, well, I couldn't stay there and practice my law when Ghana is there. So he left there and came to Ghana, and then they called him to the Ghana bar.
Okay.
And then he became a lawyer. And that is how he became a lawyer.
Tiavan says, would the bishop or chair now, would the pope be a chair automatically? No, you are learning on a job to become a pope or bishop or whatever.
The Catholic Church doesn't work like that. You have to go to the school.
Allah Zariki. Ghana Mudia grow. Sure. Do you know something? Also, then go to court, Nana, to Galamseyes. If your friend is saying, excavators no machine, say no more. In our loss. The India make us say, Oko school near more certificate. No be do what I say. Oh, so be true a friend is a density. Oh, I mean, Usana, oh, no, the lawyer, lawyer Jabiachi, a lawyer, or apprenticeship, Nani, Moshe,
No, it doesn't happen in Ghana. You can't follow anybody to court to become a lawyer in Ghana. It doesn't work. You have to go to the
but UK,
and I don't know whether it's still working. But during Nana Akufo-Addo's time, it was happening. So maybe I will check the law apprenticeship program in the UK and tell you later whether it's working.
Obidi Bonia, according to your laws, near Fabon into any Panasoka, you didn't court.
Yeah.
You say a court of the competent jurisdiction, whatever. Mokam Brofubisa.
Yeah, court of competent jurisdiction. Yeah.
So, how do you call that court of competent jurisdiction? Near finding guilty. Name running at Dimeboa. We a common sense new school. Sir, Obi from Sir Ibn, Samaku Obimpa. Anami Ku Obi crosses here. Now a criminal actor. Ghana branch as a police for the Tommy Yamumo to Kumibi. Anameboa.
No.
Somebody be court.
Yeah.
Ya kono ma timi defending who ye. Na emra se fatasa me di ana me di meboa. And the prisoners be bre egum o man ye feed you because of enema bi senti. Etien fa ne se obi ye galamse. Emra ba ne wo Ghana mining laws minerals commission fa sa amra no mra. Ama kire yen se so kotu so obi di chanfan. Ana so obi di excavator asi so premu a twejatum. Say yen use your common sense and yen common sense no na se can use da o enye se sia o say na ya tomra na to wonom na ya see the common sense na fight am saying no yen hihye crofers gaveters and yen common sense no ye je wo kire da say na Professor Ransford Jampo on Friday me name interview hanom I can say he doesn't see any sense in it to burn events excavators. You better reclamation of the land, all those lands. No, now that reclamation of all those lands, no, we need excavators. A tenant and your home now, yes, season. No, say you to me season we not buying to me shaswa. Let's have buying idea. Sebi you, send no more. I buy one yaban papa. Okita juna yidibu mine. Sana, say buying to me share or manager party so. Why the better manager or manager party so? If government of the day, echo season will be at the year. Now they are going to show on custody. Now ultimate mass security to me protect the na. Sabano say you need save. Enti ya kwaji excavators and yes shino. Afraid ma unu say excavators e ton no case yenton. Sena. Afraid ma unu say excavators are party boys ni to di ya. Canada Japan and ko mo confirm ye no. Na dan kwa na case mo ton say excavators no ni.
Why?
Because of Adia Okano. One more order to burn excavators. So he's telling me, sir, he gave that order in the first term, to sell all those excavators. That is my conclusion about Mekasa Wakano. That is my conclusion. So I'm all that see excavators. Now washino opa court. Any nom todi yano. I don't know mom todi yana. I am not the mom todi yana. Boss, or man over 2 room. Yeah. Sani coat when say uncle for circulating. Mimi who nyans be a woman. Eti boni and crofo for galamses would di true Nanado's first time in Nano. Ono Shechirana. The Pessimium. The Pessimus or no Shechiria. Because excavators a 2 year. We watch your video be just 1 minute. Sana, yes, Samana boy. Won to me. Yep. Wakosi signboard 4 days ago, say 3 days ago, yeah. Or maybe 2 for Magudi or Honor. If I shan't original do Samana boy. What do you about? Say you know her signboard, no. And such a hypocrite. And now, what portray who say, oh yeah, the God sent, waba. Nen Crawford edins in Nukruma. Or face say, a yen Crawford, you know. Yatete Operation Vanguard for MPP for no buy. Within the MPP, no. Within the Kejemfua, what do you call? About your Piatum, Aquane Casa, no one tea, Mufeda with the Jumana.
Nowadays.
Eba.
No, but don't worry.
Oh, okay.
The tuning is even not working, so let him play.
Ah, okay.
Samra boy, Asankrigwa, what's in origin? Asankrigwa Samra boy, and Asamra Chama to me, I basically way. The Captain Smart, the idea with my back where Dawson, the concession a dog. Asankrigwa Samra boy, Musha, Chama to me, the concession.
Then the concession.
Chama to me, this is somebody say, oh yeah, money. Oh yeah, I'm saying, oh yeah. Abra, Yapamo, we now so be unstoppable. Somebody, on basis, somebody, need 4 days you. They be a chomo and do a chiana, Chama to me. What basis somebody who answer, oh yeah, money. Yapamo, waka, you know, no question. Or shame on the to go where Samra boy, Asankrigwa, what's in origin? Asankrigwa Samra boy, and Asamra Chama to me, I basically way. The Captain Smart, the idea with my back where Dawson, the concession a Dawson Hanum. They be a chomo. Never sent you a Friday, I'm a Shahoya Juba. You were here for Nancy, a tree of Funa. I am not a moody 2 at the air and to me cause out to him.
Sana. Sir, now Namrane say. Whether kita lines is on kita lines free.
No. They didn't say that. They said that in 2017. No, they're not saying that.
No. The minister gave a period. Said now, ukita lines is on kita lines okofie.
I thought they were saying forest reserves.
Forest reserves in the sending company for Nadia.
Because that's
forest reserves, no. A party boys in Nadia.
Okay.
Because unim.
Nobody has a license to mine a forest reserve.
Yeah. It is a Obisha forest more. Naya a Yabam penny for need to. And this need to go to forest reserve. It's young forest I would honor you tuning in. I know Yabam penny for the because according to your laws, no forest reserve you into a goodie or meboa. See into a goodie of forest reserves in him. According to your laws, no. You too.
Yeah.
To me, Samana boy. Eno namno asankagwa udu asankwa mimi nuru ho na woko But nsuo ne da papa mo na ho de o mama nkrofobia wo ne se untimi ntu galamsey nse nsuo ba akopɛ ne da ho no no ti de no untimi ntu galamsey
where your father lives.
Yeah, nsuo ne ba akopɛ oba cross nsuo na san wo du krum ho.
Nobody can mine.
No. That is ohene no. Yeso mo ba ho beto asase bi no so no nsuo we pɛ ani ye nom. So untimi the community guys no go after them. Since the Nubians hobium. So no any at wine.
That's good.
Yeah. It's in cocoa, and a mo. And a yomo, main a yom do your honor.
Okay.
Ada banchana body and okay, na a me. A meso so ye a ipa. So banchana body and the homedy cake.
But cocoa and rice.
And rice.
Okay. The commercial.
Yeah.
Okay.
And tea in soon to mean to a yom.
That's nice.
Eti woman sombrano. Eti omampani no. He has no respect for the law. Obi bisa our question. Ti answer no na menko. Ebe later.
Kofinya has come to us and said, let us know the year Nanado's law offenses happened in the UK so that we can check if such practice truly existed. Kofinya, me, I was not there. I do not know. Just what I heard. So I'm just recounting what I heard. I don't know. I have no idea.
Now I so already signboard no. To me signboard so already.
No, what was it?
Oh. To me signboard no say. Never. Responsible mining bio. Okay. Samina boy. Okay, maybe. This is the signboard. Is it BB as a contel or whatever mining company limited, Samurai Boy large scale mining project, motto responsible mining in a suitable environment. It's sustainable, responsible mining in a sustainable environment. It's responsible mining no me.
Yeah, they are going to do responsible mining. Yeah,
the motto no responsible mining
in a sustainable
environment.
Oh, okay.
To me signboard.
Akonta Mining Company Limited. Samurai Boy. Large scale mining projects. Motto responsible mining in a sustainable environment. This mining company is more suspicious. The most suspicious mining company. Please watch it. Go ahead and use it by headlines.
Abusia ya shase kwaka TV 7 eba boachini ya sadaka senkoma proud sponsors no. Nana aye Osai Bobi Ansa, Emmanuel Dosu, Brakofi, Nana Dia, Uncle George Dixon, Nico Atei Vanderpoy, now face Livingstone, na Eugenia, Peggy, Abenadodu, and I face of Akiki Omadaro Makambi, and the Jumadi in Airban Timonka, Namon Sharon, so none of Peno, Kwaka Te Dikanya, de Shasi, and your friend Ghanaian Times, or say, go to court if you disagree with government approach to Galamsey fight. One neka President Akufo-Addo was say ekwaya Ghana ban faso a omode kuntia Galamsey no wa office ono manya adwen no fa okuku no nkaka kopi mo se nibia e ho so bete paw what you say na excavators ne de omso ombe hia hye se illegal mining now ya na otiso hu din se hu no a ombe hia hye eti go to court. Court so there. Okay. Parliamentary Committee comments Kotoka Airport COVID-19 testing procedures. Where Health Committee or Parliament enom koto Kotoka International Airport kwanya omafaso COVID-19 testing no niema omde from na de ade nyina no omko no omakobo nkrofo na baso abaso body ende mo na mbebo abaso de ende mo na modia. Now yeah, then say company appointment. I'm on Crawford a testing over here. Now also when we committee chairman. Obe say Omanyade. Agwa Dr. Free. Oh, Dr. Free. And I just no address media no. Na omo kaze review kuye keke. Now no why. The Center Minister in charge of health grano. Omo Eden Crofone Con, Frontier Walker, Oman Kanchire no. What I say? Oman Kanchire no. Now, chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health, Dr. Nana Ayu Afriye. Sounds a ranking member on the committee. Okay, ranking member on the committee near Kwabena Mita Kando, managing director for Frontiers Health Services. Dr. Kojo. What also so account be and the squad ni. I'm good drum so. Abai, oya dear. Obeda akoka. Sa manya dear. Na ogu for the idea kwa. Kwabena Mita Kando pen bi tima be bo machi. Na omo mobile ban so won dey team say maza okay, Albert Sam to be laid to rest tomorrow. Okay, Papa be a friend Albert Sam na waka enchine agu na Albert Sam no you see na or a veteran journalist now a board member at the New Times Corporation NTC. Waka nchinagu yami adomo a ochena tema Friday no yeden betumpam na afensu no omakwa akopeno krabre March 20 this year ena papa ewuye 65 years ena onya enti ura Albert Sam nyankopon emfa okra nsie 5 policemen grabbed for extorting 38,000 from drivers. And the story we know a farmer so was a brand me go through the headlines say mahunu na oko Kanishi Divisional Police Commander Enra yase yachi appoint for makomako enum what they say say womo ajisika 380 million OCDs no afi adrawa for ho na constable Wishwell Odu ono account bi na constable Lawat Japan ono so can be constable Evans Amwaxi Amwaxi can be constable Sena constable Sena Kuvodo ana Kuvodo and of Lance Corporal Redeemer Agaman eti Sena wanya unipa ba ko a jeze nanado bai udimze adwuma de omo ye baskani ho na eni omo ewo police headquarters a ho ne do makosi a omo ane do mabakot na Accra Regional Police Command Deputy Commissioner of Police DCOP Afol Boache Yadom eno confirm this story we say ohwe eniema enkrofo na akoya eniema otimze masa entwa yesa eti eno so eno no na omakwa kujisika efra driver for na driver for no akọ report wom na nei omho akọ kadwam a eno so enya asem ketwati nia eno aba eno no na yakure ne no Daily Dispatch o say Akufo-Addo dares go to court if you dislike my excavator burning policy. Nana don't go for say on no man ye dia ono no be decide kwan for man in faso into the mran edu na ontiase ya court no bema attorney general ashia wo honom. Road contractors dare roads minister 6,000 kilometers of roads in Ghana in 4 years. Question umbiza say amwakwanta akwesi amwakwanta sena numbu ehu say ode kwasinti no o say ohwe papa ne so ne bayan ka enfre ne kwaku san say kwasi 4 de omuyo nkrofo mo hodwo yi papa pa kwasi 4 ka no kropa kwasi 4 ni ntro ena sana ehwe papa ye ni mo ano say papa ye friend kwaku anka bebo a nyame ne kan yo da no ka say adentina kwa ne friend kwaku ni ko friend kwasi cause ni suban de eni kwasi etuwura kwasi amwakwata sena se mfro kwaku amwakwata ntanze ekwa faso yo niam no ye kwasi da ekra da etowa eno no eboybra what as into the fakwaku nti kwaku fo no so mpa omompe dey foforo ma but kwasi pa de menese na ya dwene yenyi mfiri utire so na yenko yenim eti eno so eno no na yenkwere me ha de yi the chronicle e ha o say Galamsey fight, no retreat, no surrender. President says those against excavator burnings should go to court to vindicate their positions. Iti omampani Akufo-Addo ono enajeze okay what you say na ose ekwana mafaso okono womo entintasu ento form ensign enfa omotechere mankonkonko for bium no retreat no surrender eti eno so no ti ohwe na se ya show excavator na onti ase a form court na ekochi ni enti a womo ensese womo show excavator eti eno so e hanom na mi hu headline bia aya na mahu se Mr. etoda bia nipa dwin mu no aya na ezi hwehwem kakra especially some editors and after politicians TA or set top pays 1.167 billion NDC legacy debts, develops business and revitalization plan to turn round fortunes of refinery. TOR pays 1.167 billion NDC legacy debts. I say TOR no NDC for headquarters. Until TOR be say ya, but unim ama we no aya mo yom niam be say ode ye okoka John Mahama Ameria ombeka say John Mahama Ameria power plant nyin sika no de TOR Ghana dia. But ekabi eba NDC amambu mo a eno no ye NDC for car. Such a beautiful nonsense. Enti eno so eno no yenku enim ne ento aso ne hwa de. Daily Post ewa ha or say paying fees is a better option than free senior high school in its current state. We your parents bia won so no eka ehon sem wo say sir ombetua fees ama mama ebo atom yam na yenka so memetua bia for intervention ne de enu mo betimi aboa dan ne a omote ho se we ne free senior high school poor tuition poor aduani kura ni wo no they cannot do that. Etino omum tua sika na e ka se omum tua no mo be boa ama nkwara no enhumasua eno omadidiem no omunam no eno wie peye dan ne tete hu se we ni free senior high school no wabonsam wacha na de ko oma bako a obeje enso oma bako oje enso oma bako oje enso oma bako oje enso oma bako oje enso wabonsam we wacha na de ko oma bako obeje mo ho oma bako oje mo ho ma bako obeje mo ho ma bako obeje mo ho oma bako obeje mo ho ma bako obeje mo ho ma bako obeje mo ho akwenim nyumto. Your wards are suffering under free senior high school. Speak up a park to parents. Dr. Clementa Park or say yama wo school mo omobre papa panti awfo monkasa nya sa mosikan pa ene di dwana nka no. There is massive cover up within national security. Adam Bona alleges. Adam Bona is security expert no ka chirim say woko national security one mo a maza and obi timi din se hunu ne asa akwa command post so jam military awreho papa etuhwen kateboni bia be fry national security ni mo a obi di boni instead say ye betu na se ne anem ne ya hyemi no ye nya ne sa na ye so sa nipa ne so we nyina kan bi ena man nei Ghana ore mame emfansi wonum yanko the Insight newspaper eso or say immigration officers angry withdraw from border towns over unpaid stipends. Yes, the immigration officers be equal to 2 in border towns, no. Say ne be ya. Woman for Kotikwan, as Ura border no. Be prevent you. Nasika see at the moment, me pacho. Ya chem say who aban for Bako ontua. It in say 100 cities na see at the moment more. Ye mom 50 Ghana. The pacho say emwa. It will be on prevent you, be said will be into your bribe man for bibi hura Ghana no. Ni sika so intimate ya. There's a Ghana the free bonto. Itianei womo service a womo eye render border towns ni nyina no. Ya de se womo eji mu a eno so enya asem ketwa. Na ohwe border towns ni bia areas bi ti se Elubo, Akanu, La Klebi, Sabuba, Hamili, what I say, enti and also so and no. Minority vows to oppose increase in road tolls. Dom Kuma Momra Shebe of Fim led by Haruna Idrisu. Say Paso Metra Makwesiam Wakwata Amwakuri Ata Kwesiam Wakwata Amwakwata chese Amwakwata say betu road tolls mupa Ghana your condition of roads no. Enye papa a portos aja fana de amwako we de nya de se ombe pene amasanse hunu no akoso daybreak air to aso Akufo-Addo defense action against Galamsey. Now that Akufo-Addo say a soldier for excavators are almost shit ni nyina no ofwaso sei ofwaso. He was Ono Enoe Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. Inti Ofwasopa. Dachibino. Judgment depth ebeba. Mimisao. Aban we buy and 4 years will be trying. Odi can try no. Omutia 283 million judgment debt. I for the mutia mawom. ABC ne. Yenim. Parties rubbish NDC boycott. Samuel Ofusompofo. A NDC national chairman in Funi Denim Hanomo on a IPAC 2 day a year you know. And the political parties in the a trouble NDC Amanyo Kuno say attitude show ye towards the IPAC proposed electoral reforms. Our man Kohonino. It's unfortunate and unwise. Say Nyasabia inni sana moa NDC Amanyo Kuno etuye enono. Yankwa. The Inquisitor. Hard work pays. UEW. Anes Napo. Na chese yese jumatene. Ituya akatuya pa. And I'm so ama University of Education. Uniba ene butu. Wamo se na pa ya de. A chese oma bona baso se ode free senior high school aba. Ahmed Swali's mother. Giabo punches Kennedy. Na Harris also ansu Giabo. Se Kennedy Japan wa from kwan. O sorry ya okasa. Unya information crown cross check it. Obi ne yere se bi eda na se ade no kra no amaye no bedi ntro kire kra onfro ba no nyinkyire mu na akwaka so ba ya kwajo force one mai kon ne me kon one system no kon bibia Harris also ansuji abo se Kennedy Japan we allowed too much akoya wontimi fa asemunsie wi ena defense committee of parliament mo so onye chairman ene so waton ye kra makodi wo for you ide no so nsem wo anu ma chese people ede ho amano bo atimi aba the tender yento aswe Mr. Free SHS Napo grabs honorary ay sa adiwi oko kumasia e the problem eba honorary doctorate for changing the face of Ghana's education. Anyway, I had the ampa. I had the ampa. I'm on a double. Why changing Ghana's education under Napo? Yes, it's our syllabus 2 years in year. 2 years in year. You need textbooks. Radi Yesu Christo. And you supana miswenye yanka mesu for changing the face of Ghana's education. Napo. Say and then watch 2 years in year. You are changing syllabus, curriculum, no textbooks for teachers. It is abona baso. O changing your quarter year 1 year to money abona baso. Ghana mpani for. Jamu ashe Trini Jonas nsem. Jamu aden ashe Trini Jonas nsem. Na yemfa daily guide enwie. Robber policemen in trouble. Go to court. Nana to Galamsey yes. Napo gets doctorate for free senior high school. COVID-19 testing protocols unchanged for vaccinated travelers. Opening dismissed. Opens defense June 3. Foundation donates incubators to Kokuruku. Eti yedenobisi anomne yakoyanim. Thank you for the word so sweet. Asida kese nkoma na say bobi ansa. Emmanuel Dosu, Brakofi, Nico Vanderpoy, George Dixon, Livingstone, Eugenia Peggy Abanadodu, Eno Fakeke, Omo Adaroma, Eno Soya Sena, Yede newspaper headlines no ebaye. Transford Cable Achinimedin, Agbozo Heba say, oh, problem, mpam, opasuye penis enlargement, or prostate problem abahwa, eba wiba kupena bakwa, yentimi mfa pipe ento obemam. Sanso no yoba, ena white, ajia infi wafa, ukwa onsabiti miakabi. Yadi biya ya kwankwa, mauboswa, mankano, bacho jinamba nefra gbozo, nene hunkomo, obebo wao, ama wasu otimenya waresa, yadi ya, inti Mr. Wada, mentroma yadi amount to them. Inti enonso so enono, kwa shema na infi honom, ena Dr. Gbozo, yibutu, ene yeni nkomo 0246 28 36 66 0246 28 36 66 Wamadaru makambi ena shonu etwagu ama onso otimiate kwasibo achinie sena nombo yamudi ama.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And big thank you to the sponsors of the newspaper headlines. Thank you. There's a lot to talk about this morning. The intervention fee is what? Is it they didn't even add fee.
Yeah,
intervention.
Intervention.
You pay
fee. Yeah.
You pay intervention.
Yeah, intervention fee. No.
Intervention.
Yeah.
So we are intervening.
Oh,
that's more
intervention.
Okay. We'll see.
It is after June 2nd. No. Every start here.
Oh, okay.
Until all parents say mutia free senior high school for no form 3-4 intervention.
You are paying intervention.
Yeah, intervention fee.
I like that.
And I'm so baba.
Intervention. Well, watch it. Let's go back to that story that the Daily Guide is carrying. The story of the fact that the president is saying anybody who has a problem with the way they are fighting Galamsey, they can go to court, or illegal mining of any sort can go to court. Now, a couple of things to note. There are a couple of things that are illegal. If they give you a license to a concession and you're mining in an area that you did not have a license to, it's illegal. If you're mining in a forest area, you're mining illegally. So if your concession is supposed to be Radio Gold, and somehow you mine Radio Gold and move to Bano, you're engaged in illegality. Yeah. If you're mining in water bodies, it is illegal as far as I know. In forest reserves, it's illegal as far as I know. The mining that involves pumping water, using it and pumping it back in, I don't know whether that is irresponsible mining or illegality or something. But Nana Akufo-Addo is saying if you're unhappy with all those and the burning of the excavators,
head to court. We're joined by Michael Kojo-Pepa. Michael Kojo-Pepa is president of the Concerned Small Scale Miners Association. Thank you very much for your time, and a good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
I hope everything is well. Well, let me first start by just reading a certain portion, some of the quotes that are attributed to the president. And he says first, I know there are some people who believe that the ongoing exercise of reading our water bodies and forest zones of harmful equipment and machinery is unlawful and in some cases harsh. I strongly disagree, and I will advise those who take a contrary view to go to court to vindicate their position if they so wish. First, let me start with where he's saying that there is an exercise to read the water bodies and forest zones of harmful equipment and machinery. Now, is that what is going on in the fight, in the current fight that has been taken up by the military, as far as you know?
First of all, let me explain my greetings to your listeners and viewers. As a matter of fact, I think the order refers to people mining in the forest areas and people who are mining on the various water bodies, isn't it? But they have instances where people with their legal documents have had their machines burnt by this military.
People,
for instance,
who are legally licensed.
Yeah, have had their machine burnt by the military. Secondly, some of the machines that were burnt were packed in not either of the order, that's the railroads. Some were packed in the houses, and the military went there to burn those machines. As a lawyer who understands and upholds the rule of law, and being a president, I didn't expect him to turn that line. Because if it is so, it means you are giving the job of a judge to the military. And then if the military should have any personal score with anyone, being it minors, they can use this word from the president to retaliate or to revenge. That would be very, very dangerous for a country that opposes rule of law in this country.
That is your fear, that this kind of language that the president is using to say that he disagrees with anybody who says the manner in which it is being approached is unlawful and in some cases harsh, and to say that if you have an issue, go to court is wrong. But you're also saying, first, I want you to go back to the point of where you are talking about the fact that there are people who have legal licenses, and those people operating within the zones that they have been assigned, are they doing the right things?
Nobody can tell you unless somebody from the Minerals Commission or a competent court of law. At the end of the day, we can only, declare somebody an illegal miner where we take the person to court. One way or the other, these military are not conversant with the mining laws. When you just come in and see you mine, you feel like every miner is an illegal miner. And for that matter, they don't even ask you of your license, or they don't follow the rules in mining. So then it means this is a blanket statement that the military, in their own discretion, can act on the burning of excavators, being it illegal miner or illegal miner. But then, notwithstanding whatever is being said, I think we should not condemn this statement by our president. Because most of the times in mining, we acquire loans to work. So indirectly, you rent my machine. The interest on the loans is still accruing. And at the end of the day, you tell me to go to court for a reason. How do I even get money to to pay my legal representative. Why can't we, morally keep these machines, use them for reclamation purposes, and in so doing, we wouldn't have to go searching for loans and buy the same equipment that have been destroyed for reclamation of those dug out uncovered space that is left behind.
And I'll come back to the approach you're proposing, but you are essentially saying that you are seeing soldiers on the field, but those soldiers are not accompanied by anyone who has the capacity to check whether or not the license people hold are valid, or whether or not the people who are at the Galamsey pit, perhaps you are working at the Galamsey, perhaps you're working on a concession. And when you're going to a concession, I'm not sure you are carrying your license along with you when you are going there. That in that moment, there's nobody who can check whether or not that person is doing the right thing. Only soldiers appear and they decide whether you are doing the right thing or not.
That is what is happening.
That is what is happening?
Yeah, that is what is happening because there is no technocrat among the military. It's only the military who are, giving the mandate to be fighting people who are in our water bodies and people who are mining in the forest areas. But when they come and they deem fit to burn your machine, they just do so without any fear or favor. But then in the Mining Act, it states clearly on what should be done with these excavators or these machines. We are so much surprised on going to court saying by the president. Is there anything in the court that we are not aware of? Or is it that, okay, fine, we are only upholding illegality? Because if the president says something like this, it means I can kill you and then tell your family, if they don't understand, they should go to court. Is that what we should be promoting as a nation? Or we are assuming anything that will be caught, we shouldn't take him to court, and in so doing, we should just kill the person. And if a thief's family thinks that he wasn't killed through the rule of law, they can also take those killers to court. No, this is not how we should govern the country. Why should we give a law enforcement order to the military? It's something we should as well, bring our minds to. What if they use this order given them by the president for their vengeance or selfish gains? Like somebody like me, for instance, who is very vocal in the fight against Galamsey, they can as well come to my side and just burn it. And find an excuse. When we came, we didn't see any signboard on your side, we think you are illegal miner. So we burnt your machine. And if you don't understand, you just go to court. Is that what we are upholding? And as a lawyer, I don't believe Nanado is a lawyer. Lawyers don't speak like that. Lawyers are uphold rule of law. Lawyers always make sure that they don't disrespect what the law says.
But you cannot use the basis for, because maybe I should read portions of his quotes to you, and it says that the president is a lawyer. I should know the president a lawyer. This is the Daily Guide saying that the president a lawyer said that, quote, I should know the Ghana law reports of modern times are littered with cases in which many clients thought it necessary to challenge the government action. In the majority of cases, the courts upheld my contention. In few others, they did not. And it continues. That is the rule of law, which does not recognize social status, religious persuasion, political affiliation, ethnic origins, or regional adherence, merely the law and precedents. The Asian common law doctrine of, I think, stare decisis that he says. But he also says that you are committing an illegality if you are in a forest reserve mining. You are committing an illegality if you are in a river body mining. If you're doing that, you're committing an illegality. You're damaging our water bodies. You're committing a crime not only against the law, but against the environment and also against the people of Ghana. In that circumstance, he's decided that the best way to go is to ensure that you don't even have the equipment in the very first place. So, how is he? Do you understand where he's coming from? That we have an issue with the water bodies that need to be dealt with.
We understand what he says clearly, but they have issues with the modus operandi of the military. A lot of these machines that were burnt, honestly speaking, were not in the forest reserves nor in the water bodies. Because the excavators are not meant to be used on our water bodies. Some of these excavators that got burned were in the various houses of the owners, and they went there to burn them. And no mining should be an act. So if you assume that I'm engaging in any illegality, at least you should catch me in the act. Not when I've parked my machine somewhere, you just assume that this machine has been used for an illegal purposes. Secondly, if our president really means what he's saying, then I will be surprised. Because, honestly speaking, come to Odaho Forest, go to Amapama Forest Reserve in Odaho, in Amansel West. Chinese miscreants are there mining with impunity under the protection of the state security. Our president is trying to tell us we're not aware. So if every forest reserve is a red zone, why are these Chinese, mining in this forest? None of the Operation Hot have gone there to burn their machines. Go to Tonton Forest Reserve in Wasa. Chinese are there mining with impunity under the protection of the state security. So if really and truly the forest reserve has been declared as a red zone, why are these people mining in these forest reserves? These are the questions you should be asking our president. And they have not built any machine in these forest reserves. So if truly the red zone is what the military should go by, then we don't expect these Chinese will be working as we speak. Our concerns are these machines that have been built, most of the times, have not even on the field. Most of these machines were parked in various towns and villages. That doesn't even have forest reserves amongst them. But yesterday, the military went there to burn their machines. KGM4, for instance, they even burned the excavator and burnt his dozer machine. Dozer is not even meant for mining, it is meant for reclamation purposes. His place is licensed, and they will say, they suspect an illegality in his work. So where is the Inspectorate Division of Minerals Commission? They need to supervise whatever we do, so that periodically we send reports to them. Where are the EPAs? So all these monitoring agencies are dormant, and you order them to be burning people's excavators. We should correct the wrongs and not be using brute force like this bravado by burning excavator unnecessarily to solve this problem. They are burning excavators. Yesterday, the armed forces have come out to say that the places they cleared these galamseyas, they have come back. So is this approach going to yield any better results? No. So why can't we use a different approach to achieve the results we all yearn for, than to just bring out a statement that will scare the legal small-scale miners, and in so doing, it's going to create a whole lot of hardship on them.
So I get a sense from listening to you that you are feeling that the president's comments is depriving those who have genuine grievances about what the military is doing from getting those grievances addressed in any form, sort of, so that the military can also perhaps amend the approach, and approach can be carried out in a manner that helps everybody. That am I correct? Is that the sense?
That is what we are saying. At least it should be open. Okay, this is red zone. Go to the forest reserve. If you buy a machine in the forest reserve, we don't have any problem, because small scale mining, nobody has that power to mine in the forest reserve. On water bodies, we know for a fact, excavators are not meant for mining in water bodies. So ideally, your machine will even get stuck if you enter any river with your machine or with your excavator, because it is not meant for mining in the water bodies. Yes, though, people who use this chamfine to mine in our water bodies are fully working, because the military itself doesn't have the equipment to patrolling our water bodies day in and day out to flush these people out. So why is it that the president will just make a statement that will embolden them to come and cause, distractions to people who have their legal entity, who have their legal document? It's our problem. You should come out clear, and we should see a proactive, approach, or whatever we say.
But do you also get a sense that there is an attempt to listen to you? Because if something like this is happening, perhaps the feedback should be coming from you. You should be the one telling the presidency and also those who have ordered the minister about whether or not the right things are being done and whether the right results are being gotten. You should have a platform to which you can engage at least the minister on the approach. Do you have that platform where you can raise issues about what is happening?
There is no platform, my brother. What platform are you talking about? The stakeholders engagement we had, all the things we brought on board, they are doing something else. We told them using the military approach wasn't the way to go. We never mentioned in the stakeholders meeting on burning of excavators. Yes, they are doing what they want. So then, what again do you want us to do? I don't think there should even be any platform. Let's leave them to do what they want. So when they fail, we also have what we have for them. We also tell them what we have for them.
But that will be a huge cost to some of your members too.
Yes, because now we are telling them burning of the excavators. We need to be very, clear on it. Okay? The military are not meant to solve technical problems, especially in terms of mining. So why don't the government add people from the Minerals Commission among the military, so that even if it should be a technical problem, we'll be able to explain it further to them? All military, approach would only create chaos and misunderstanding. Well, the military can't just determine who does illegal mining or who does illegal mining. When you even give them their licenses, they don't even know what it is. So, for instance, if I'm working in a camp and you provide your license, do you think it's an evidence enough for them to, stop or not to burn your machine?
So, under the circumstances, you have no choice but to watch them do whatever they're going to do. When they are done, what happens?
When they are done, we thank them.
Because if you take the example of Madam Kejimfua, who you referred to, it is clear that from listening to you, there are issues to be resolved about whether or not even what they did was legal or illegal. In that circumstance, the president says you should head to court. You are saying that should not be the approach. What should be the approach for somebody who feels wronged by the military? What should they have done if not go to court?
Oh, now we don't know why government is telling us to go to court. What if we go to court and yes, so we don't get the redress we want?
then perhaps we would have lost the case, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, so basically, we will try the approach of going to court. But then, in so doing, we have told our members to protect their investment.
How?
Oh, they need to protect their investment because now, if you have your legal document and what you are doing, you've not flouted any law. You need to find a way to protect your investment, or you better stop working.
And you are saying that you mentioned the Chinese specifically, that they are in some forests working actively, forest reserves that they are not supposed to be working actively. Nobody is touching them. Whatever they are getting is state security protection.
That is what I said. And nobody is talking about that. If you could recall, when the Operation Horse started this operation, they arrested some Chinese. It came on TV. Yesterday, when the minister was giving his briefings, he never mentioned about any arrest of Chinese. So, at least there's a missing link somewhere. The people who are destroying our forest reserves are these Chinese. Yes, they put the blame on we, the illegal small-scale miners. So it means the fight against Galamsey is a selective justice. When they feel like, oh, you are a threat to whatever government is doing, they can use this one as an excuse to come in here for the machine. By the time you prepare to go to court, you're already in debt. How do you then pay the legal, your legal people or your lawyer? But so it's unfortunate a president will say that.
The suggestion has also been that when it comes to the issue of the Chinese, that if you even go to the Minerals Commission, you may not find a single Chinese person who has a license. But the license is actually acquired by that is if they do have a license, as sometimes.
They don't have any license, my brother. No Chinese can engage in small-scale mining in this country.
But they say some of you are also fronting for the Chinese.
No, nobody is fronting for Chinese in forest reserves. It's only the politicians who have access to acquire a license in the various forest reserves. So if you like, investigate the number of people who acquire or who have the license to mine in the forest reserves. They are all politicians, and they are using these Chinese to their advantage. And yes, the government, doesn't have the power to fight these miscreants. But at the end of the day, the legal small-scale miners are always the culprits in terms of fighting Galamsey. Yes, these Chinese people are just walking around, going about their normal activity.
You are saying that there's not a single Ghanaian small-scale miner who has no political connection or is in politics who is mining in a forest reserve. That if there's anyone that's mining a forest reserve at this time, the person has strong political connections or the person is a politician.
That is right.
That's quite a serious assertion to make, because the suggestion is that your members and you guys are the ones who are doing that.
So that is the perception created by the politicians. Who are the ones giving these prospecting licenses to companies to mine or to prospect in the forest reserves? Is it the politicians? And do you think they will give us the legal small-scale miners concession to be mining in the forest reserves? No. They only share it amongst themselves. And in so doing, they rather employ these Chinese so that they will make money out of it. That is the truth. Why is it that they are not talking about these Chinese? They are very quiet with it. Why is it that the Chinese ambassador has gone to the Ministry for Lands and Resources and has pledged to help them find Galamsey? Have you thought of it? These people are the same people causing distractions on our water bodies and our various forest reserves. Therefore, they are ambassadors that is their government here has gone to the Ministry for Lands and Resources and they have promised them to help them fight. Don't you understand the twist in it?
Michael, what do you suspect is happening in this in the case of this new militarization of the fight against illegal mining?
My brother, small-scale miners are now the culprits. And but the real Galamseyers have been left off the hook. They are going around doing their own thing. As they are mining, they still, with the small-scale miners, are now thinking on how to even either work or protect our investment.
So you feel unjustifiable targeted, I guess.
Oh yeah, that is right.
Why would the government do that? Why would that be done?
I don't know. Let's find out from them. Whenever they talk about Galamsey, it's only the Ghanaians, it's only the Ghanaians, it's only the Ghanaians. Yes, the people are in the forest working. Yes, the forest reserves are raising, isn't it? So why don't you go there and stop these Chinese who are mining with impunity? Or they are above the law?
Well, Michael, thank you for speaking to us this morning, but just that earlier on you were questioning our president's credentials as a lawyer.
To me, I don't think he's a lawyer, because those who uphold rule of law would not speak like this.
But as president, you also understand that it's not really about the sometimes drastic measures need to be taken to deter people. You agree that that happens?
So then if the people are, stealing, people are doing the wrong thing. Yes, even in this country, if somebody kills a fellow human being, I think that person is not killed, right? So why should we encourage the burning of excavators? Whilst we know that act is illegal. And coming from a lawyer, something we take a very exception on that, because lawyers don't speak like the way our president did. Wrong is wrong.
Lawyers don't speak like how our president speaks.
Yeah, he spoke like a chief who doesn't understand the law.
He spoke like a chief who doesn't understand the law.
Yes.
Our president is very respected when it comes to the legal profession.
Sorry?
Our president is highly respected and highly regarded when it comes to the legal profession.
Well, this time around, I didn't see the law in what he said. Wrong is wrong, so you don't use wrong to answer wrong, or you don't use illegal means to fight an illegal problem. Whatever it is, we should uphold the Constitution, we should uphold rule of law.
Well, Michael, once again, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Michael Kojo-Pepa is President's Concerned Small Scale Miners Association. Well, it says our president spoke like a chief who does not understand the law. In case you haven't heard what the president says that, let me read what he says, his own quote. I know there are some people who believe that the ongoing exercise of ridding our water bodies and forest zones of harmful equipment and machinery is unlawful, in some cases harsh. I strongly disagree, and I would advise those who take a contrary view to go to court, vindicate their position if they so wish. I should know the Ghana law reports of modern times are littered with cases in which my clients thought it necessary to challenge government action In the majority of the cases, the courts upheld my contention. In a few others, they did not. That is the rule of law, which does not recognize social status, religious persuasion, political affiliation, ethnic origins, or regional adherence, merely the law and precedent. The ancient common law doctrine of stare decisis. Now, Michael says that one thing the president did not take into consideration is the fact that when you go to court, you pay legal fees. And that by the time you burn the miner's excavator, which he may not own, which he may have rented, and he has to make payments for those excavators because it will have been lost and the owner will want his money back and all that, the miner may be too broke to pay legal fees. And that is an injustice in itself. So that's the situation. We're just speaking to Michael on what is happening on our various mining sites. But let me do a couple of your messages. Nathan Abuja is saying minority will publish things like this, but they will support it. Ransford Boachi Yadom, it's you that is saying it. Kuku is an angel. Kada, not Kwesi. That's Abdul Rahman. Habib Bantus is also joining us, saying a good morning to us. So who ordered the military into the Chamber of Parliament on the 6th of January? We still don't know. We want to know. No one is accepting and accounting to we the people. What the country you say. Alaji Abdullah is also joining. Okay, Alaji has some advertisement to do. Let's speak to Dr. Ejan Vida in the UK. Is a mining sociologist. A sociologist, okay. Is a sociologist. Let me speak to him on what is happening. Doc, thank you very much for your time, and a good morning to you.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. And let me say a big thank you for the good job you are doing for Mother Ghana, and to all your viewers and cherished listeners. Good morning to all of them.
Yeah, good morning to you. And I hope the UK is fine.
Yes, everything is all right. We are just, about to enter into the real summer where we can have some better vitamin D.
Good sunlights. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm hearing that the biggest news in the UK involves, is it Cummings? Is it Dominic Cummings? I hope I'm getting the name right. Who was a right-hand man? Who was a right-hand man to the current Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, who is basically tearing Boris Johnson apart and questioning his leadership during COVID.
Exactly. I think sometimes when friendship fall apart, some people still harbor their own bitterness and some of their enviness. This is a man that could swear some years back that Boris Johnson was the right person to do the job. What happened today? Today the story is different. The friends have become enemies today.
Very interesting. But I'm also sure you're paying attention to what is the going on in Ghana. And one of them you're talking about critically is this issue of I usually don't know how to call it. Is it a renewed fight against illegal mining, among others? Because the fight actually started in 2017. There seems to be a revitalized, brought in by a new minister, among others. I don't know what you make of this and what you think is playing out here. Being a sociologist, what kind of mentality do you think is playing up in this new fight that is coming up?
Well, thank you so much, Senna. I think that when you look at this particular new fight, I think that what the president is trying to say to Ghanaians is that he is determined to make sure that he root out all these illegal mining and then make sure that we can have a good water body so that our water bodies are not being destroyed by these illegal miners. But the question is that I want to say is that the way to fight something permanently, a menace like this? I doubt the approach of the president. Yes, for me, I think that if the president really wants to fight this thing, it's all about prosecution and arrest. Because if you ban excavators, the thing is that excavators can't talk. I don't know if they have developed any excavator that can speak. I doubt. And I'm sure that these excavators, they have owners. And every excavator in Ghana, before it will enter into the country, he has to have permit. All these huge machines that go through Anglo Gold, Ashanti, and Takwa, and all those things have owners. So let us go and find out which names are these excavators being registered to. And two, who has raised these excavators to these miners to do this job? So I think that, people are saying a lot here in the UK. I must be honest and I must be frank with you. You see, UK people love Akufo-Addo, but I have to be honest with you. a lot of people are really, really disappointed. Very disappointed. Not from the opposition party, but from the main party who are ruling Ghana now. Let me tell you, if you go and ask friends of and people that are connected to the president, people that were able to raise funds of thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds to finance this particular government, the New Patriotic Party, a lot of them are really sad. Some people are even asking, is it really a clone of Akufo-Addo? Some are even doubting that they don't think that he is the real Akufo-Addo. Because some of his measures, sometimes when you sit down, you realize that, I mean, critically, if you analyze some of his decisions, it doesn't make no sense. For a president, when I first heard it, I was surprised. I was like, really? A lot of people I send these articles to from the Ghana Web and other newspapers and other things. They are saying that it cannot be. Why are they saying so? Is that the way to fight? I mean, a menace by saying I destroy? So when you destroy them, who is going to pick them from the forest? Which taxpayers' money should be used to transport another? To go and bring all these excavators. You know, I think that we are having a president who does not really know what he's really doing, and that is why the nation. Someone said that it looks like Ghana don't have any leader. We have somebody who is just managing it for some time for 2024. It's going to be hard. People are going to cry. People are going to be, weeping. But this is what we know. Some people said we should vote for, and then they voted for someone like Akufo-Addo. But really and truly, the question we have to ask is, the people that we have bent their excavators, who are they? They are not ghosts. They are human beings. Where are they? Now we have bent their excavators. Where are the people? Because the main people that will go and purchase excavators are still there in Ghana. I don't know if anybody has been arrested. I don't know of any court that is going to prosecute any person. I don't know. Have you people heard of anything? Maybe you can feed me with the information. Has anybody been arrested? Has anybody been prosecuted? Which court of law said that we should ban excavators? And the president is quoting the rule of law. I think that maybe I think that he said this thing jokingly. That's how I'm seeing it. Maybe because of the environment, the euphoria. I mean, he was standing in front of lawyers. He himself being a lawyer, so maybe he got carried away. Maybe because if he's a responsible leader, a man with character, you don't speak to your people like this. So that means that tomorrow I can also decide that maybe if I find out that certain things are not going well, I can say that, okay, let me also go and bench somebody's out. If you don't like it, go to court. Somebody who is also selling ice water will say, okay, somebody has come and then maybe he went to buy some food, and when he came back, somebody has poured sand into it. He can also say, okay, I will kill the person after all. When if you don't understand, go to court. It's not how we are building a nation. Is it the way to build a nation? Is it the right attitude of a president to advise his people? You first of all arrest the people, then you take them to court. Then the attorney general comes in. Prosecution has to be. We have to prosecute them. Then if the court finds them that they are guilty, we prosecute them. We jail them. These are the way we should go. Without this kind of arrest and prosecution, everything the president is doing is a sham. They will go to court. When they go to court, which people are there in the court? When the NDC people went to court, which people were there? So go to
the judges were there.
Judgment. Yeah. So when you go to court, we will pay judgment debt. Already Ghanaian even already our debt even is very, very skyrocketing, and IMF is even saying that no, we should not even go borrowing anymore. So go to court for what? Go to court, and then we go and pay another judgment debt for people that don't deserve it. I mean, come on. What? I mean, for me, the emphasis for these activities is that it's criminal. Who are those behind these galamsey? Kennedy Japan Honorable, a member of their own political party, has said he knows people. Abroye has also mentioned names of people. We've also heard of a woman called Kate Jemfua. What is the Attorney General doing? When it comes to SARS, LLP and Apafu, forgive me if I don't pronounce the name right. What did Attorney General do? Is it a selective justice that we are in? And as we speak now, even those people don't even have a representative in Parliament. If the right way to go is arrest and prosecute, excavators don't talk. People have to, carry them and, transport them to that particular place. So I think that, look, this particular statement from me is really, really needless. It's really, really uncalled for. It's coming from someone that I would have thought should have known better. And I'm sorry. And that is why I kept saying that some of us, we have distanced ourselves from this particular president because he is a man without character. What he says, what he does is different. He will say one thing, he will do different, and he will keep promising. If you go and read the budget, you will see the amount of money for the budget, and they are promising about how many flyovers. It's like a joke. It's like a joke.
The person makes an argument, and let me read to you. This is a quote from the speech delivered. Quote, the presence of champagne in water bodies is illegal, as is the unlawful use of excavators in protected forest zones. The devastation caused by these equipments is nothing short of evil, and we should not compromise in our efforts to protect our environment, forest reserve, and water bodies. And this is the key part. He says, I say with all the emphasis at my command that no rights can accrue or flow from criminal venture of Galamsey. The equipment which is being used for an illegal or criminal purpose cannot confirm on the owner or any other person any rights whatsoever. What he's saying is that if you do not have a license or whatever, you are committing an illegality. There's nothing that can be done. So burning should not in any way affect the government.
But you see, that's even. It tells you how even the president that he's supposed to know better as a lawyer. I mean, on what basis is he calling this activity criminal? Unless maybe the president has taken any member to court. Because if you ask Kate Jemfua, the national women's organizer of the MPP, she will tell you that she has what? License. She has document. But her excavators has been bent. So, from the president's own word, let's take another person also from his own party. Her national women's organizer is saying that, President, I also have the document. So is the president trying to tell Kate Jemfua that she is involved in illegality and it's criminal? And this is the woman that really helped her to galvanize and mobilize women to vote for the president. And I think that Jemfua Kate will be very, very disappointed. And I'm sure that she might be crying very, very hard. No wonder we saw some videos of her crying, because it looks clearly that the country is being driven with the driver who is sleeping. And I'm sure you saw the videos recently. He is sleeping on the job. So when they wake him up and he comes out, anything that he thinks that comes into his head, they have to say it to Ghanaians. You see, seize them, let them pay for the transportation, and let them dredge the Odo rivers for a week and release them. And after, you can just send them to court. Let them pay for what they have done. The people that have caused a lot of these dangers to our river bodies, let them pay at their own cost. Let the Attorney General take them to the court of law. And then if they found guilty, let them pay. If there is any punishment that comes with it, let them be punished. But you don't go out and make such statements. And when you make such statement, because I believe that and then I think that he was also giving an applause to the Ghana Armed Forces, which I find it very, very something that I say that look, sometimes we tend to applaud our leaders for no job done. Now, why am I saying so? The Ghana Armed Forces, they have sworn an oath to defend Ghana, the land, by air and by sea, with the peril of their lives. So we could not even gather any intelligence that our water bodies were being destroyed. What did they do when they saw Chinese all doing all these things? They always wait for something to happen, then before we go, and then we call the army go and do something. But meanwhile, they are being paid to do job, to protect the land, to protect our water bodies. So at least, even if politicians are not even acting right, institutions such as the Ghana Armed Forces should know better and defend the Constitution and defend us as they take an oath and they swear with their lives and say that they are going to defend our land by air, by sea, by water, to the peril of their lives. You don't go there with army and then they will be taking pictures and they will be shooting Ghanaians. Meanwhile, they will be arresting Chinese and we don't even see where the Chinese go. And then they are gone to their country. But meanwhile, they kill Ghanaians. This system, if we want to end it, is arrest and prosecution. Without arrest and prosecution, we will go nowhere.
So you do not subscribe to the burning of the excavators or any of those equipments at all? What should be done to them?
The excavators can be seized. We have a lot of, developmental issues in terms of road constructions, in terms of other things that we can use these excavators for. Let us use these excavators when we seize them. Let us use it for many of the work for government. The Attorney General knows better. You prosecute these people, receive some of their items. We can use some of the items to do many things because they have caused a lot of, problem to the land. So if we are supposed to maybe take them to court, we prosecute them, and then they have to pay certain fines, and maybe the fine comes maybe $1 million, and then out of the $1 million, we can say, okay, we have confiscated your excavator. Out of the excavator, we will take the amount of money that maybe we think should pay us this so amount of money to the government. It goes to the government, it goes to the coffers. Nobody wants to use his hard-earned money to pay to government like that. So at the end of the day, you make them pay for the cost and the damage that they have caused to the country without banning it. If you ban it, definitely it's human being that is going to buy another one. It does not stop it. I'm even told that Wuntimi has another concession in Western region, allegedly, that they are still doing mining over there. So where do we go? Arrest the people. They know the people. Didn't Otumfuo say that about 30% in at the place that they were having a meeting? Didn't Otumfuo came out and said maybe they know themselves, those people that are involved in illegal mining? What has happened to those people? Can't we tell Otumfuo respectfully to give the names so that we go after those people so that they are meant to pay? Rather than just burning excavators. If you burn excavators, they don't have mouth to speak. It's human beings that buy the excavators. It's human beings that transport them to their site for mining. And now that, okay, we have burnt it, who is going to transport them from the site? What happened to the many pits? Who is going to cover them? What equipment are we going to use to cover all these holes, these mining pits? So you see clearly, Mr. President, I think that he got carried away from where he was standing. He was speaking to lawyers. Let me say something to them. And even when I say it, I don't even understand. I don't even mean it. And many of the things the president says, if you journalists are to, do a thorough, I know this particular station does a thorough work. You do a fantastic job. But I ask the other stations, they should go and pick up the president, many of his speeches. and then ask him, 88 hospitals. Have you seen any hospitals being built? One of my friends just flew yesterday to Ghana. Maybe he might need that one of those hospitals. If you know of any, just let me know. I will just send the address to them.
He can manage the ones we already have. We'll lend him space. But in the meantime, the president has an interesting message for people who he says are critical to his actions. This is a Daily Guide. Says he therefore appealed to the public, including many of the opposition who are so doing to rally behind government in its efforts to stamp out what he described as, quote, far-reaching illegality and criminality rather than advocate for the protection of non-existent rights of persons caught in this evil activity. That it is better that people who are criticizing him rather back him, because if not, you are advocating for the protection of non-existent rights of persons caught in evil activity.
What is so evil with the president contradicting himself with his own words? Example is Kate Jemfua. And what the president said, people are engaged in evil activities. Kate Jemfua's excavator was burnt. Who is shielding Kate Jemfua? Is it me? Is it yourself? Is it the listener, distinguished listeners listening to us? The question is, who is going to arrest Kate Jemfua? Who is going to take her to the court of law, and then, if found guilty, prosecution be made? So clearly it is the president. I mean, whenever he chose the ball on the wall, it bounced back to him. His last statement, evil. Perhaps we should ask, who is more evil? When your own political party members have given you names. What is the Attorney General, Godfred Dami, doing? So, who is evil here? Evil is when you have the power, you have the command as the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. When you fail to arrest and prosecute, didn't John Dramani Mahama prosecute his own people when they did not even destroy water? And water is life. 70% of the human body is made up of water. Abuga Pele is serving what? He's in jail. Do you think it was happy for John Mahama to prosecute his own person? Do you think so? You see, leadership is all about character and attitude. Leadership is not about talk. Irish contemporary, as they say it. Leadership is for people who are serious. And I don't think the president is serious. He's just playing with words. Evil is when he is refusing to prosecute people that his own political party members. People that they so adore them, like the Kennedy Japan, Kate Jemfua, Abonye. They have come out to mention names. What has the president done or is going to do about it? So if we are talking about evil, perhaps let us go and knock at the Jubilee House, and whoever comes out, perhaps the face that we see might be that evil.
Doc, on a different matter, before I let you go, the WhatsApp News is reporting this morning a very interesting twist. I'm sure you're monitoring the hashtag Fix the Country movement that's gaining momentum on social media. And there's a headline from WhatsApp News. They say Attorney General Police using time machine to chase hashtag Fix the Country wants to stop May 9, 2021 protest on May 26, 2021. And this is the story. And it says that in an unprecedented desperate move, the Ghana Police Service on May 2021 served the writs on conveners of the hashtag Fix the Country youth movement, seeking a restraining order against the group planned protest on May 9, 2021. This retrospective court process is arguably the first time in history where a restraining order is being sought in court to prevent a demonstration scheduled some 17 days in the past. in what can only require a time machine to wind back the clock to May 9, 2021, ACB Benjamin Osei Adai, on behalf of the Greater Accra Regional Police Headquarters, filed a suit on May 18, 2021 in the Accra High Court to put a restraining order on the trending youth movements plan to stage a street protest on May 9, 2021. What do you make of? Because this, the newspaper is describing as a desperate attempt to ensure that they never go on demonstration, and now they are restraining people from going on a demonstration on May 9th, on May 18th. What do you make of this moves by government to ensure that nobody ever comes out to demonstrate in line with that this hashtag Fix the Country movement?
Clearly, you could see that the president is very desperate. You know, from all indications that we have gathered here in the United Kingdom, the grounds are not good for him. You know, they are going everywhere to solicit for loans, and everywhere they go, they let them know that, look, things are not well with your country. Even people, many businessmen that I know are thinking of even relocation, because some of them have been advised that if they have to, if anything, they should look at Mali. What happened? So if whatever the president will do, the little power, the powers, all the powers that the president have, he has to know that without the population, without the men and women, I mean, they say power resides in the people, isn't it? If let me ask, how many numbers of police, workforce do we have in Ghana? The armed forces, they are no more bigger than the youth in Ghana. If about over 1 million youth comes on the street, would they be able to contain them? I mean, this is a desperation move for all indication to tell you that the president is failing. He has failed totally. So, okay, the once upon a time we said that he was a human rights activist. Today, people cannot talk. People cannot demonstrate. Someone who demonstrated in 1995. So if he's talking about the rule of law, it's clearly that he does not even understand what he says. That's why I say he's a man without character. Look, this Fix the Country is gaining momentum. I'm telling you, if I'm to tell you many things and many calls I receive on my phone, you'll be shocked and surprised. You see, it's coming from not political parties, it's coming from the men and women that lives in Ghana. The Ghanaian, they are suffering. Lives are unbearable. And he promised to make lives better. And the youth are not seeing it. Jobs are not there. Youth in afforestation, 8 months, they have not been paid. Doctors, nurses, go to the army barracks. The young, the lower ranked people are not happy. Many things are going on. You will receive call from Canada, you will receive call from America, Germany, I mean, all parts of the world. And it's scary. He has failed. Ghana is broke. When we said it in 2019, before the COVID, they thought maybe some of us were just trying to paint the government black. Let's look at the issues that these gentlemen are saying face the country. They are saying the unemployment. They need jobs. NAPCO, where is NAPCO now? Where is the flagship program of the free SHS? Where is it? Parents are being asked to pay for their children's school fees. So you see clearly, he knows it, that the least thing that people will go on the street, the prophecy that he wished for John Dramani Mahama will come to pass in his era. And that is what scares him every day and every night. Remember that prophecy he said? When he went to one of the Peace FM station and he was talking about the Arab Spring. And he was talking about Mohamed Bouaziz's self-emulation. And that he is not calling for it, but looking at the hardship. He wouldn't be surprised to see it happen in Ghana. It did not happen at John Dramani Mahama's era, under his era. But clearly, he's so afraid. It's giving him sleepless nights. So when somebody tweets, "Fix the Country," they are scared. When it start gaining momentum, they are scared. If we allow them, it's going to happen. Anytime you wish your friend evil or your brother evil, remember, it's just a matter of time and a matter of days. And that evil, we don't wish it for Ghana, but maybe from all indication, if things don't turn around, it is going to fall under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's time.
Doc, thank you. Thank you for speaking to us this morning.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you for having me, and thank you for all the cherished listeners that are listening to us. And I'm saying my last words to say that, look, Ghanaians, I know you are going through hardship. You are going through a lot of, tough times. Remember that what somebody said. He said, look, this particular government that we voted for, if we had known, we had listened to the likes of Temaklo, Nyaho Temaklo, we would have listened to many of the MPP. Indeed, we could have even listened to John Ejekum Kufuor. But please, let us endure up to 2024. Nobody wish the 1980s era to happen to Ghana. We can only hope and pray for the best, but clearly not under this particular government. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Dr. Iyan Vida is a sociologist based in the UK, speaking to us on two main issues. I just took his views briefly on what the WhatsApp News is reporting this morning. Let me read the story to you a bit more properly so that you can see. It's quite a nicely written story by our very good friend David Tameklo. Who they are reporting, WhatsApp News is reporting this morning, Attorney General, police using time machine to chase #Fix the Country wants to stop May 9, 2021 protests on May 26, 2021. Remember, today is May 27. May 9th was when they used the tanks and everything and were waiting for the protesters. Now, after that, they have filed something at the courts. Let me just read the story to you so you understand. In an unprecedented, desperate move, the Ghana Police Service on May 20, 2021 served a writ to conveners of the #Fix the Country youth movement, seeking a restraining order against the group's planned protest on May 9, 2021. This retrospective court process is arguably the first time in history where a restraining order is being sought in court to prevent a demonstration scheduled some 17 days in the past. In what can only require a time machine to wind back the clock to May 9, 2021, ACP Benjamin Osei Adai, on behalf of the Greater Accra Regional Police Headquarters, filed a suit on May 18, 2021 in the Accra High Court to put the restraining order on the trending youth movement's plan to stage a street protest on May 9, 2021. On May 6, 2021, the Regional Police Command has secured a restraining order which would legally elapse in 10 days by May 16, 2021 in these suits. The police expressed fears that the convenience of the youth movement will proceed to stage the protest after the 10 days elapsed. Quote, intelligence picked up by the police and the subsequent public comments by the organizers of convenience point to the fact that the organizers intend to proceed with a demonstration after 10 days when, in their view, the order will elapse. End quote, the suit stated. Yet, the writ to restrain the #Fix the Country movement was filed on May 2021 and was served to one of the group's conveners, Oliver Baka Vomoro, on May 25, 2021. This means that if the group had truly planned to stage the demonstration after 10 days of a restraining order, which elapsed on May 16, 2021, they would have staged it as the police chased them in the bizarre retrospective actions the police and Attorney General's Department have been scheming to, at all costs, prevent the group from protesting corruption and mismanagement of Ghana's resources. WhatsApp News can report that in court today, the Attorney General and the police representatives were embarrassed when the trial judge, Justice Ruby Aite, chided them for the sloppy work they had done in the process to seek a restraining order on the planned protest. The judge slammed them for causing a mess and leaving her, the judge, to bear the backlash in the media and public discourse. The writ had been served on the group via a WhatsApp number that the police and the AG concludes must belong to the convenience of the youth group. A statement issued by the #Fix the Country movement today recounts the curious events in court. Quote, following the WhatsApp message, and despite the short notice, 2 of the accidental conveners appeared in court today, May 26, on behalf of Fix the Country at the hearing. The Attorney General's representative admitted that they had failed to properly notify the accidental conveners of #Fix the Country as required by law. Despite this, the Attorney General's representatives insisted that they be allowed to move the motion to obtain the injunction. Quote, the statement explained. That's a quote. Okay. The court, however, refused the request and ordered the Ghana Police Service and Attorney General's Department to properly follow the processes to secure the intended injunction on the May 9th protests, which has since passed. It is unclear why the police and the state are insisting on getting an injunction against the amorphous youth group from staging the protest on May 9th, because the Fix the Country movement is a spontaneous movement of Ghanaian youth across the country seeking proper management of the economy. The group does not have any central organizing structure. It is a decentralized movement that nobody is liable to, and thus other mushroom cells under the generic auspices of asking policymakers to fix the country can organize their own protests without recourse to the particular attempt to slap a restraining order on a particular section of Ghanaian youth. And so that's the report by WhatsApp News. So that's the attempt that was made yesterday in court. Let me also just quickly read the story. But I don't know if you can find that story on the is the story in the papers on the Ghana National Association of Teachers. Okay, so this is the story. Yesterday, if you recall, this week we started this week with a story on this rules issue, the one Dr. Percy said was enough in the press conference that was held by our rules minister. And this is the Daily Dispatch of today, front page. Road contractors dare rules minister 6,000 kilometers of road in Ghana in 4 years. And the story, okay, it's always difficult to find story. Okay. The story, it's always difficult to find stories in the Daily Dispatch anyway. Okay, so this one is on page 2, and they are reporting what 3 News carried. And there was government's promise to construct 6,000 kilometers of roads in addition to 120-foot bridges and interchanges within a period of 4 years has been taken with a pinch of salt. The Road Contractors Association of Ghana is laughing this promise off because according to them, it is going to be challenging to do this. The association believes government has not settled its debt arrears to contractors, neither has it completed the already existing and unfinished construction works. It is therefore surprising that government will move with alacrity to complete new projects in 4 years. Stephen Atachi, the vice chairman of the Road Contractors Association, Ghana, stated on 3FM Sunrise Morning Show, quote, 1 year is almost gone. Are you saying with the 3 years left, they can do something? You see when you go to the advanced countries, they can build that bridge within 24 hours, especially Germany. But if you're talking about concrete issues, it will take a certain period to cure before you can pour another one. So that's the story that's being carried, that the contractors are even wondering if what the roads minister proposed is possible and is very feasible. Watch it.
Yeah. So I believe so. And African leaders are there, as I said, Etias here, say, and go for a million, so be almost so no one answer. Adiama government of Nigerian Kokufado failure. So we take advice from the other side. Whenever they offer a solution, or they also want to pass on board, they will not listen to the sense, or they will look at the funny saying. A yes solution in Yamana Ocean. but your personality why na ka sa asem no ofiri hi na eba the deal is not to do oh asuma si fi no adwempa bi no trim. That has been the problem of this government. We said so we have come. We will do it. Sana, all sectors, all departments of this country, all sectors of the economy, eban say abayina asese obono mode na omeki sure say the boy man bibia ajinsemo. I was very sad this morning. Say you better say yakoma will be doctorate award. You the anano say you born mode I introduce you free senior high school. A former minister in charge of education under the watch as education minister. Among the key attempt or they changed any attempt to change our curriculum. As it stands now, no textbooks for the teachers. Sena, we do believe say oko military noa promotions esekoso. For the first time since Kwame Nkrumah bisi Sabari, say nipa 20 and Alex say nipa 3 tisho CCI and nipa 5 refia CCI. Your time as soon as you see a promotion, they will tell you so because promotion will come with some benefits, meaning salary increment in the day. They will tell you Sikami in the margins and one ever promote you the rest of the firm next time. What do you think the others as Subagina for Ajumon? They will not even serve the country with their heart anymore because I did as a son. Yes, it's a cameo into no. Yes, I'm a conquer no more Macadamian entrance. Say, you put 20 years. They only pick 2, or they only pick 2. Make sure I say you promote 2 and not 18 I can enter them. 80 yes, it's a cameo. Now I say your Tisicaso comedy. Nipa na ohu se Ghana tisikaso a yiri se o board e bonus out to bench and ohu ni say up pitch na so Dubai ya papa ni yeko nipa na o kase tisikaso so comedy no nipa no we se na offer sector bia obunya problem se na bo siska ni ho but school feeding original coordinator to me catch there a man is a moment MPP former. One of the man another campaign for the day. A brasso as a matimoka. A 2 more than you, 1 more than you. Go and write your name and collect the money. And people are getting close to 200,000 per year. 2 billion without any work done. And you know we are also. Let's say operation fix the country. Now that you we should fix ourselves. And last that was a bad leadership. Only qualities needed. Say leadership and a leader be a character. I represent the group now. I couldn't look at you and say, you fix yourself. Say no. A better can never see. Say it will get to a time all those nonsense in the youth of this country enter a TVM. Because now no be president Obeji Akunya na Ghana for him say akoiba wabairi ebeboa ama enema koyi no ise no wuko to ko fa kroanhye onu ankasa ne ye a wo ye kire say adwe no apem and can no campaign meboa ye nyina to adwen former president Matisse Wakase seek help because at the end of the day anya wo na sofo sena numbo se Ghana sika ka 1 cedi ena e de mo mapani atodun ne adi nyina da kom ana meboa se Ghana nyina sika ka 1 cedi ene se spend 1 cedi ene a yele sa 1 cedi be to duane ma mampani adi ama ye no anumuso di ada ere sa wo ye bibi na wo fe se wo krofo na anase wo opponent no wo ma dwiri bia on be offer ideas bi on do be to on the table no wo bu ni se nkwase asem a this is the way ye call free senior high school obika say your deficit in terms of infrastructure it's yen progressively free what's I progressively free no now you catch up with the your first infrastructure deficit no and I'm for CCI. I remember vividly say Dr. Kwabena Dufo so na Kufonia no
No.
Kwame Adokufo ya. Dr. Kwame Adokufo, former defense minister. Papa we catch there was say free senior high school we boss men pray on for implementation emma. We say what promise Ghanaians into obey. And then you about to intervention fee from next month going. So akwadabi or no more or senior high school intervention fee. And I drew on my babitua. Eti omo mkita the brace no. I will foul and near my obitini ya. Ebe cut down cost any other. Your finance minister crackers omo betimi to nkoku. Jamo muntua because ono betimi atua for Neneba and other 7 what's ana 7 students. Our panic. But the sense one mama meje Ghana so be ni ye lewo no ne me kae no me baba be di se da be ya mesusu menya cake bi ana ye kae aboya tinenti no eno ti ne baba do anom enti se ofa sector by sector na ko ba bi no problems kitinkiti wo wa edi o mani nyanka kakra na se ka se be demonstration na so suma attorney general and police for some koji injunction meto yen so a one day e bia no bi plan no bi nim. What you say? No be plan no be nim. Sama. Maybe nim say attorney general ya obai. A party adwuma no obey, Ghana adwuma no obey. And operation fix your friends the ban excavators no. Or so you can go to court. Barunim. It may end up one day any government we are another government obeba you be incur judgment of German about bitua. Sana this government atua 283 million Ghana cedis judgment debt. Ebe si ne ye nim krofo etu eskande ma om. Ebe si no unim obi am tu eskande ma no.
No.
Ye nim. But William Mesika was 52.1 million or 51.2 million, 51.2. 51.2 million. William Mesika was 51.2. Ebe ye dede wo krom hanom am ye say as a BBNC da. But government of Akufo-Addo atua 283 million as judgment debt. Those individuals say two escalamon basin ne. We don't have any idea. Because yeni also abani yedia Ghana yedia enti niema yen pesi yenye no obi ntimi mi say hute. Ya for Ghana ema obi atikafa. Enu ti na road minister beka che say Momo na mo say you fixing roads. Akufo-Addo started fixing roads in Ghana way back 2017. So catch up. Wake up from your sleep. Follow us. Run. Tumrika. Muni yachi ya koda da. Because ono no kokko abia from Sumu was I want junction onum say anyina mo onum kokko abia no 5 minutes no do no fie.
I never knew until I saw the video yesterday. Fantastic.
Kwame road no.
Oh, fantastic.
Video number.
Oh, you haven't seen the video.
No, me who here.
Oh.
But maybe the mania who road no.
You have been there.
Yeah. Maybe the mania road but the video in there me who here. Kwame road that asphalt.
Oh. Sorry.
Wait, your friend is street light.
Yes.
Greater Accra, Enra, that been number 1 and enter this. One of the papers, Greater Accra, all the street lights in Yajuma. But Kwabi, across you. Kwabi said on your Krobia guy, Kwabi in your Krobia, what did you cry your guy, Kwabi? but no, he has been able so making sure so what they to me ayade it is no more you can see a sector by sector. Ghanaians are crying no. And now who promising free saying who promising by restoration of alawa. What in Angola students no more charge money no. Kwadani charge mama Akufo-Addo say omo train sika na check. And afforestation sena numbo omo de nkrofo ka amasa planting water by ni bia jiegu. Who ko kan e be ka kire o say who look o say den who are you? Ya Bobby Siam bo ama Akufo-Addo be di ade ye ntimi anya 170 million and to your coffers mama ne yesi be bank ya san kwaje be siam be bank offer energy sector. John Jinapon will tell you under John Mahama electricity company of Ghana started making profit, and when ECG making profit I can't grade co because only 8 to your grade cook with power on beton, but billions upon billions and on them Chronicle one fan of pay my Chronicle not down. One has a read each room as you know on your far left last year or down on.
Oh, okay. Top pays 1.167 NDC legacy debts.
Sena Tony
1.167 billion NDC legacy debts. Develops business and revitalization plan to turn around fortunes of refinery.
And the headline or NDC legacy debt. Sena me so say yes we invest in propaganda. Say NDC legacy debt. To. Say na to no NDC anesana.
They took their money to buy if anything Chibom.
What you say? Eti say adian kobo ni a o metu oh NDC for the boss I can go. Basika mo fa bas bo man na do why ade pa so na MB before I am go focus me ko ama doctor IFM say lawyer aba the real good friend I am no ka say NP before Nkrofobia they are very wicked Nkrofobia when you can omunyo bia say I'm telling you today omunye hufo obia say one me ye bibi na ọ̀rẹ́ náà onye yi anu asụmụ obi ya gba asụ bi anu ọsa nipa onye ebe ma sena numbo akwa eze ye nkwada na ye na sika ni efia ya tọbọl amaghị ne wo mo sika fo ma ne tọbọl ma ọmụ no ụbọ no ọmụ bi no asa no kọka no achịbọ na hye no motu ọmụ sẹ me ma ọmụ bi no sa suma na bi ani ọmụ nye obi a ọmụ hu sẹ Ghana fo nkasa esi ni bi no mu ntino mu di sanse hu no ba se yeso mu ye wikido sankofo do ya de deal with you whatever wo mu nyame se no kra ne yebeka eno wo so betata yan yebeka mo tata yan yenim ze daache no yebeja dimpa atwonom President Akufo-Addo is a failure in terms of governance. I don't know obi say ne law certificate no onya no online one day you buy so say or online course say
when President Akufo-Addo was a lawyer,
online.
There was no online.
Okay. Okay.
If we should not.
Say Ghanaian online akwane ka say bi onya ne certificate online. How on earth, as a lawyer, obi kura committee to kill her, or na obi committee murder? Say I don't go to court. Say nipa no kura ni sika to hire a lawyer, state no man lawyer, meboa, to defend him or her. But also we will continue to bend the excavators. You guys continued in your first year and I'm selling some excavators to raise money for your party your party campaign. Nyame shira Ghana no shira mu nipa nyina. No wadwempa no. Nyankopon ma na ahoden na onfa any ye but no ni adwene papa no. Mpa me bo man se Nyankopon sa kira na adwen. Se na ena mi no wawie. Ebia ne yanhia biem. Ebi share wachiro. Nyame ka ho.
You call yourself a co-host. Okay. Martin, pardon me. Let me just do a few of the messages that were sent to our YouTube channel. Niaya is saying a good morning. When you govern a country with lies and deception, the reality of doom so will expose you. Hashtag fix the country now. Ben texting, if a thief tells you to go to court, two things are involved. One, either the father is the judge, or two, the judge is an accomplice. Is this Cell Del Glad? Says a good morning to Efosena and the Radio Gold Power Drive team. Ben texting saying the president should not give orders and demand to go to court for clarification. Your order should be binding, and all reasonable people, including your opponents, must understand and see it as fair. Let me read that again. Ben texting, a president should not give orders and demand to go to court for clarification. Your orders should be binding, and all reasonable people, including your opponents, must understand and see it as fair. Ben texting, if a court is needed, it means your order is ambiguous. You are intolerant, to make it clear, and above all, dictatorial. Very worth thinking about. Nyamekwamaka Slavi says, you guys are doing well on YouTube. Thank you. Duchess the Queen. The MP of Bantampaya, Asantewa, Queensta Pugia Soya, has no size in Parliament in terms of developmental projects. God bless her more and more. Ben Texas Akabi, the Ferguson argument is not valid. Kujwa, is it Kujwa Asase says, Ekufuado, bring back network broadcasting on the airways. Radio Gold 90.5, a power station. Is it Swala Abdul Razak says, please, the tuning. Okay, Swala, we know. Fortunately, at this point in time, we are not in a position to do anything about it. We will see what we can do subsequently. Henry George Martinson, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Hope you're well.
I'm just, managing.
How's life treating?
Oh.
You're managing. Life is managing.
Yeah.
You're also managing life.
Managing life. Yeah.
Everybody is managing each other.
Yeah.
You're looking professor-ish.
Yeah.
How by the way, okay, so I don't know where to start from. I don't know which one you want to comment on. A couple of things. First, let's start with the president's issue on the banning of the excavators. Go to court.
Yes, I watched the president on TV and saying, I said, so wow, go to court. Go to court rings a bell. I don't know now. There is, what's the word to use? There is the current system has a penchant for saying going to court or go to court. And when you say someone should go to court, well, going to court is good. But I'm saying, listen, the Minerals and Mining Act, or the Mining Act, which section or subsection of the Mining Act approves of this operationalization, where things will be bent? The argument to it is that the people would take off the motherboard of the excavator, so it becomes unmotorable or immovable. So the only thing that you can do is to burn it. I think, if my memory serves me, the last time I checked, about 49 excavators have so far been burnt. Okay, 49 excavators have so far been burnt. And I ask myself, you see, it's about we wasting our mind. Another argument is that the people will go on site during midnight or at night. So you can't have the task force to be going there to ensure that mining or illegal mining does not take place. The first question I think we need to ask ourselves as a state or a nation is that what has been the level of engagement as to the fight against illegal mining? Apart from the chiefs and other opinion leaders, ministers, and what have you, those actors, were they engaged? You see, when you look at the small-scale mining people, they virtually know each and every one that mines, whether on water or vegetation. They do know. So I ask myself, why are we not engaging them frontally? But the root cause of all this thing is about economic issue. I don't sound a broken record. That I told you, not I'm just trying to, you know what I mean, affirmed or support galamsey or illegal mining. But if you recall, about 2, 3, 5 months ago, I gave you the instance about the Niger Delta. That they sit there, they have a lot of resources there, that's a black gold or oil. Anytime they see the multinationals are taking those minerals away.
Before you move any further, just for the purposes of just an announcement, small one. Please, if you want your voice notes to be played, please send them in now. Send them in now, and please keep to the limit. Don't go to. If you send me a 5 minutes voice note, I won't play, or I'll play what I can play. As much as possible, keep it 2 minutes. 2 minutes, under 2 minutes. That'll be very, very helpful. Martinson.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I was talking about the Niger Delta issue. That they sit there day in and day out, they see that proceeds from the resource benefits only the elite in society, but the vulnerable, the poverty-stricken residents or indigents of that place do not get, a zilch of it. Okay, so what do? They started blasting the pipelines. No one would support that kind of attitude or behavior or action. But it's about the survival. Okay? It's about the survival of the people. That's why they were engaging in these things. Now, what is the way forward? How can government give them an alternative livelihood? Don't forget, when the first exercise started, government said each and everyone should bring his or a license. But there's going to be what? Community mining. Has anyone seen a performance document on the exercise carried during the first exercise? No one has seen it. But what we hear, government, oh, yes, it was, largely successful. That's what government and its appointees or communicators have been saying. And I'm saying, listen, as a leader in this day and age, you need to bring the people along so they know the page, which of the pages you are. But now you are keeping the page or the document to your chest, and you are telling other stakeholders to follow you. To follow you where? That's what is happening. Now, this administration said they'll be using technology. And when you go to other jurisdictions or the advanced countries, technology virtually does everything. So, can't we have a technology system, a system that all the various areas that illegal mining takes place, that can be seen on the dashboard? Can't we have that? So the drones and everything that we say you are investing in technology, why we can't use that?
Actually, if I recall correctly, I think earlier on we said the 2017 fight.
Yeah.
At some point they said they had procured drones for the fight.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to those drones.
And I'm saying, listen, yes, Joe Anochi is there. Yes, NASA, North Atlantic Space Administration expert, is there. Or it's only good for elections? Is that what we've been told? So if you really want to fight Galamsey, now people are not using, now we're using what we call artificial intelligence. The human interventions are being withdrawn. So why can't we can even sit, the DC can even sit in his house or office during the night to see all the places. What we are investing in, what I want to call things that are not development related. We can be able to see all these people mining, whether during the day, afternoon, evening, midnight, and what have you, through the use of technology. So before the people move, before the security people move, they've already seen the location which these people are.
Yeah,
but we are using the dashboard. So when you say in the evening you can't go there, a whole state cannot devise any, well thought through means of fighting this. So the people come during the evening and midnight, and the military cannot go there. In this day and age, there are always solutions to all the challenges facing humanity. There are always solutions to it. So, why has government not averted its mind to the usage of technology in the fight against Galamsey? How are we addressing it? Or we are only interested in addressing the low-hanging fruit issues? If we really know the essence of water, and we keep on saying, oh, maybe in the next 10 years if we don't take care, we'll be importing. As you see, we virtually know everything about what will happen, but we don't know how to prevent those things from happening.
Yeah.
That's the difficulty with our nation.
Yeah.
And when people talk about fixing the economy or fix the country, it involves all the facets of the economy or the country. That's it. Why is it that the system is not being truthful to the citizenry? Why are you not telling the people the truth? And when you say, oh, if you don't, you can go to court. Go to court. The president should tell me, or maybe the system is using an executive powers that were passed. Okay, are you listening to me, Senna? Yeah. Maybe the system is using executive powers that were passed under the blind side of the citizenry. Because when you look at the Mining and Minerals Act, there's virtually nothing there which supports the burning of excavators.
Yeah.
So tell me that you should go to court and do what?
This is the legal argument of the president. You are
you
are in the arena. So let me read to you. Okay. He says this. He quotes the law about indeed a person in possession. So the first one, any person who without a valid license conveys any equipment onto a piece of land purportedly to conduct activities from the search, reconnaissance, prospecting, exploration, or mining for a mineral commits a grievous crime against the state. Continues. Indeed, a person in possession of a valid license but undertake mining in water bodies or mines unlawfully in protected forest zones also commits an illegality. The activities of such persons desecrate our environment, pollute our water bodies, and endanger the lives of the present and future generations of Ghanaians. Their monumental crimes should not be condoned in any shape or form. Then it continues. The presence of chamfang in water bodies is illegal, as is the unlawful use of excavators in protected forests. He again says, the devastation caused by this equipment is nothing short of evil, and we should not compromise in our efforts to protect our environment, forest reserve, and water bodies. I say with all emphasis that at my command, that no rights can accrue. I think this is where the argument is. I say with all the emphasis at my command that no rights can accrue or flow from the criminal venture of Galamsey. No rights can accrue or flow from the criminal venture of Galamsey. The equipment which is being used for an illegal or criminal purpose cannot confirm on the owner or any other person any rights whatsoever. So that's it.
Can you take the last two statements again?
I say with all the emphasis at my command that no rights can accrue or flow from the criminal venture of Galamsey. The equipment which is being used for an illegal or criminal purpose cannot confirm on the owner or any other person any rights whatsoever. They have no rights under the circumstances. We can burn their, if we find them, if it is true, or if we find them in the forest zones, is it forest reserves, and also mining water bodies. No rights can accrue to them. They are engaged in illegal.
But the question is, as the act given how those equipment, earth moving equipment should be handled,
and
that's the point. So yes, if you talk about, yes, you want to think aloud. Is that they no rights will accrue.
Yeah.
Good. But has the act given the processes in which those machines should be dealt with?
The question is, even if it's an illegality, does the act deal with illegalities and prescribes ways to deal with illegalities?
That's it. Anyway. So it doesn't lie within its mouth to talk that because you don't have any rights accrued as a result of engaging in an illegal act. You are no more than the act. Because when you look at the Constitution, the hierarchy of laws, I now understand why the Supreme Court chose Black's Law Dictionary against an act of Parliament. Yes, when you look at the hierarchy of laws in the Constitution, the common law is the common law superior to an act of Parliament. Someone should tell me, is the common law superior to an act of Parliament? So an act of Parliament, the people of this Ghana, of this country, have through their representatives have made laws for them to be governed, and you are choosing your preference. The same act has given how these issues should be dealt with. That one, it should be handed to the police. That's what we're talking about. I told you, Lord Dennis said, the law is an embodiment of common sense. So when you went to the field, the people have taken the motherboard out. So the only thing you are distracting. You destroy the equipment. You want to destroy the equipment. No. Did you also think about the effect on the destruction of the equipment on the environment? So when you are done with it and you finish and you left it there, what happens to it? Would it sink to the ground? Sana, the last time I checked, Ghana is a serious country. That's all. Don't be emotional about looking at the devastation illegal money has caused the state. So you want to be emotional about the application of how you are dealing with the menace. So there was another argument. Someone said, "Oh, so if you went into a place to go and arrest armed robbers, and you saw the
the
arms and everything, will you give it back to the state security agencies or you burn them?" I'm asking you this time.
You put fire into them.
Yeah, you put fire into them. Mm-hmm. Good, because most of these arms that they are using are not. Most of them are not sophisticated. Some of them are this locally made arms or rifles.
No, but naturally, what you should do is hand it over to state security. You know that.
That's it.
Because it's evidence of crime. If you intend to deal with the crime, you need the evidence of the crime to deal with the crime. So it means that in this instance, we say a criminality is being committed.
Yeah.
We are burning the evidence of the crime.
Yes.
We are not dealing with the crime.
Yes.
So we are just burning.
Yes. So when we assume the person went to court, or because you think you see, what I realize is that anything at all that crops up in our development strata, okay, it's an avenue for us to push our development frontiers. For instance, how are we dealing with what is the process of acquiring an excavator? When you're using an excavator,
the minerals has also given the process. How to do, though it should be licensed by the Minerals Commission. So can't we even put trackers on those excavators? Because not everyone can afford an excavator. Not even the rich people can afford it. So if someone can put his hand in his pocket or coffers to cough up this huge thousands of dollars to buy an excavator, that should tell you the person means business. So when you see an excavator around Latebeko here, what does that mean? Maybe there's a road construction, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when you see an excavator in the forest area, what should tell you? Someone is doing what? Illegal mining. So that should give us a signal as to how we should handle this thing. The knee-jerk reaction of addressing this issue, that's where the problem lies. But when you see them, set fire on them. When you see them, set fire on them. That's not it. You don't use emotions to deal with a situation that has dire consequence, okay, for the country. So how are we getting those people who are saying that? But sometimes when someone comes to hire an excavator from your end, they'll tell you they are going to use it for ABC. So it's now another opportunity for honest excavators, okay, to track what exactly the one who came to hire the excavator will be using it. I told you there are better ways of handling this whole issue, because we only want the easier and the lame dark way of addressing this menace to this our society. So when you say you justify, Senator, come on, I wasn't expecting the president. If the president said different thing, I'll be surprised that they shouldn't bend the excavators. I would have been surprised
if he has said.
Yes, I would have been surprised.
So you are not surprised by what they.
Come on, why should I be surprised about this? And when you ask, tell us where there's a provision to that effect, and you say, oh, because the person ceases to have rights to the property, so it's now you now transmogrified yourself into a judge or an adjudicator on what to do with the property, whereby an act has given you how to dispose or dissolve this property. So what are we talking about? The last time I checked, there are a lot of lawyers at the presidency.
I think there's a famous Supreme Court ruling that said that where an act prescribes a way of doing something,
yeah,
you cannot use any other but that particular way.
Come on, and this one you don't need any interpretation.
And I think Ben Texon was also saying that there's no ambiguity in terms of the law.
There is no. It's black and white.
Why are you asking people?
Like the boy is going to school. Why should people go to court?
For what? When you are.
There's no gray area there. In fact, there is no lacuna. So what are we talking about here? You know, one of the things I said we only like to engage in talking. That's what we do in this country. Then the next day we'll come again. A good leader is the one when he errs, he eats ambo pie. Again, a good leader is the one that when he or she errs, he or she eats humble pie. The same thing applies to the free SHS. You've hit a snag. You hit a snag because of the transigence of the system. They don't want to see that the application of the policy is wrong. So they are going. Now, the theses are talking. Now you say, oh, you can. We are talking about the quality of what we are doing. Now let me zero in on the free SHS stuff. The last time I asked you, have you seen any blueprint? Or the free SHS is the preserve of only this current administration? Have you seen any document to that effect? Have you seen? But you made reference of the former defense minister and health minister. Don't forget University Dons. You recall Professor Adam Mensah, an astute educationist. A lot of people have spoken during the implementation, the starting of this program, that governments
should tread cautiously. Now people are going to school, they don't know when exactly they'll be coming out. When something happens, oh, you stay there, let the rest come. For our sisters, have you seen some of their dormitories? Have you listened to some of them talk about the issue, what they are facing there? When even the dormitories are not full to capacity, we have bed bags. So right now, what are we supposed to see there? Some of the ladies that I listen to, they're talking about the quality of the food that they are eating. Quality of the food that they are eating. And now why? That's yesterday. The central doctor, I've forgotten the name. The central regional director for NAT. He's telling his colleagues to speak up. His bosses. Yes.
It's the leadership.
That's the point. To speak up.
Directors,
now you are not talking about us to speak now. The NAGAT and NAT, they are not speaking about the current most important issue. That's the textbook. They are not about, but they can hold press conference to talk about Rastafari. You are not having textbooks to teach the people, to teach the students. You don't see it as a serious issue that the nation needs to ponder over. But then we are talking about Rastafari. So what documents are you using? So now at certain government schools, on their own volition, they've gone in for certain textbook, and the children or the people and the people's parents are paying. You understand? And you are telling that we don't have a serious issue with education. Now another account of those students said, because the times are limited, even though they're having a lot of contact hours, that the teachers are just pushing the teaching down their throat. So they are always on the faster mode as to the teaching. So let me be in a hurry to finish the syllabus for the term. Are we talking about quality? Then another argument when the program started was that whose children should be at home. And when you were even copying the whole idea about the free stuff, it's only meant for their students, because it's costly. It's costly for you to be embarking on free SHS as a whole for each and every one. So does that make sense to you that if a parent can afford to pay the daughter or the son's fees or whatever at Morning Star, Tema Parents, SOS Tema, Prince of Peace and the rest, sometimes quoted in dollars, at JHS, they're able to afford the fees and everything of their children, but when it gets to SS, you think they cannot afford it? I told you, a leader is the one, when he or she will eat humble pie. I say, I'm sorry, I didn't get my acts correctly. That's what you do. But this thing, intransigence, you know you've hit a snag, you've hit a ditch, but still, because you think of the backlash from your political opponents or what have you, you are still driving the car through the rock, knowing that the car or the bus cannot penetrate through the rock, but you're still going before you realize you spoiled the bus, a very expensive bus, you spoiled it. That's it. Who is the advisor to the president on education? Apart from the Minister of Education, who is the advisor? Because apart from her, I know there are people at the presidency who are presidential advisor on health. Definitely, there will be a presidential advisor on what? Education. What are we talking about here? So those who have the wherewithal will always take their children to go and do the what you call the one done at the British Council, the A level and the stuff, the GC, and they'll be doing it because they have the money to pay. Sometimes I don't know that when people enter the political fray, it seems their minds are turned upside down. But does that make sense to you? That someone is able to pay the world's fees at JHS, and you think the rich person, the MP, the CEO of these multinational companies. Now a lot of people are doing oil and gas, so they have a lot of money. They are paying their worst fees at the JHS level, and when it gets, you see, when the finance minister said, "Oh, he doesn't see that an appropriate thing," but for him, he can afford to pay at least for 10 people. The system should allow it. In any event, we have LEAP, Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty, and we know the poor people in the system. Don't we know? We have data to that effect. So if you really want to help them, you in life, you help the poor, not the rich. What are we talking about? You help the poor, not the rich. Or the rich can afford to take the daughter or the son on vacation to Hawaii or Ohio. So we are just sitting down because of victimization or fear of losing one's job. People have just kept quiet. I told you about Whip No Child, Ngugi wa Thiong'o, the essence of quality education. It's not just about pushing people there. Now, is it true that initially when the program started, if you are 40, you go to school? Is it not? I heard that it's been reduced. Is it true? No, it's not a wholesale stuff admission. Have you heard anything to that effect?
Entry requirement.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've heard. I don't know. I've not checked. We can check about it. So why can't you continue? Why can't you continue with it? 50, 60. Let people get 50, 60 and let them go through a system. Dr. Nimue Thompson, an astute economist, and Nana Gifty Auntie's husband. What's the name? Nana Kwaansa.
Yeah.
Yes. He said, listen, this is a country that we say we wanted to develop. So, couldn't government have said, listen, I'm giving free tuition and everything for people who will be doing technical skills? You know, those vocational and technical stuff. Okay? So that if you really want to go and read arts, general arts, business, okay, you should pay for the fees, but I can cushion you somewhere. But the rest will be doing the technical stuff. I'll be paying their fees and what have you fully for the 3-year term. Is it not possible? Is it not reasonable that the whole, you see, the application of policies and programs should be targeted? You can't be, it is there, you are doing wholesale. Tell me, where in this world has something been done wholesale and has been successful? Tell me. Why when you are doing something, don't you target? Even when you are doing marketing, you have a target. People tell you that your boss will tell you the amount of money you should bring at the end of the month or the end of the year. Wholesale application of things has never been a prudent decision taken by any other person in this world. But when you target it, then you are tracking it. Then you see the teething problems. When you reach a certain time, then you unleash everything.
Okay.
But you started with this whole thing, you virtually messed everything up. And you see, when people, when my nieces and nephews, when they come back home, then their parents need to what? Go in for special tutorials for them. Because at the end of the day, when they're in the classroom is polluted. Sorry, there are a lot of people in the classroom, so you have congestion there. You can't even have the presence of mind to study effectively.
And there are issues of time on task
and everything. There's so many things.
Yeah,
so I'm saying it's never too late. Once the government is alive, you got to change.
They can work it out. But thank you, Chairman. I said Nketia from Abra Sebu Kwamanke says when we are doing a good comparison and analysis with both President John Dramani Mahama and Nana Akufo-Addo in their 4-year administrations, you will see that there's a vast difference when you compare. Is it noetic difference? It's like professor and free SHS 1 students. My regards to Honorable Felix Kwachofo. So thank you very much. Okay, so I think this is the only voice note I've sent today. Only one.
Hello, good morning, Sana, RKB, Martinson, and the rest of the team. Good morning, Sana. Well, quick comment to make, and it's to do with Sam George. I think I'll say it's an advice to him that we all love him, we all admire him, how courageous he is, but I think he's overstepping his boundaries. We've all been brought up to respect our elders. Sam George granted an interview, and the least said about that interview, the better, regarding Martin Amidou. Sam should step back, listen to himself, probably go and apologize, go back on the same medium and apologize to Martin Amidou and Ghanaians in general. I don't think we want this arrogance to continue. It's becoming too much. The love and admiration we have for him is waning. He should check himself and fix himself. Thank you very much, Dela UK.
Well, thank you, Dela. And that's the only voice note we have. Let me just read a few messages from you, and then I would call it a day. Okay, so a few messages. But let me say a happy birthday to Socrates Zero. Socrates Zero celebrates his birthday today. Happy birthday to Socrates. A few messages. Jovisika says, responsible mining saying, you are destroying vegetations and rendering lands unproductive and saying responsible mining. This country is in a mess. Philip Adika says, greetings to Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr. and General Mosquito. Good morning to you. Kofi Nyade, good morning. Sana, let us know the year Nanado's Law apprenticeship happened in the UK. Okay, a bit earlier. Yagwe Stampuri says, good morning. Sana, thank you for yesterday. God bless you all. Amen. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Democrats Kofi Abuabra says a good morning to us. Patrick Kukwesika says, henceforth, all Ghanaians, both home and abroad, should just start clapping for the current government being headed by Nana Akufo-Addo for excellent governance, because the more you criticize, the more the situation worsens. I agree. Yesterday we started. Nana is a powerful president. Francis Akaliba says a good morning to you all. My brothers and sisters, may God bless you all. Kofi Nyade, I really good. Remove Nanado's face from your platform because, okay, it's a banner on our anniversary closure. Habib Bantu says a good morning. Stay safe and stay blessed. Francis, okay. Habib again says, Sana, good morning. So what did okay, I've read that. Francis Chumes Yodume, good morning to you. Says, how are you doing? We thank God for divine selection and favor. Abraham Kofi says a good morning to myself and the Power Drive crew. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you all for the good job. Mamina Ismail, good morning to you. Good morning to Habib again. Who says, Stephen Kwekubako is also going to be given a doctorate degree. Says, what a beautiful nonsense I borrow from RKB. And Akufo-Addo, there's no rule of law. We live in animal farm, period. Peggy Abnododo is also in a good morning to us. Thank you, Peggy. Hope you're well. Lafte says good morning. And this is stop wasting your precious time, MPP. Ask that guy who told this Nanado. Okay. Fanza Kaliba is also joining us. Philip Adika says okay. Sherik Fenekavapo. Okay. Fokoko Akpose is also joined us a bit earlier from Tanigbe. Eric Boatson says, yeah, he's an Inzima man. I don't know who. Abi Bantu, so I could be pointing neighbor. Okay, I've read that. Nenena Achikobi Alasan Sule. Lilian Kosia Bediako joined a bit earlier. Ghana police, nobody's going on demonstration. Why? So that you can pour out your frustrations on them by brutalizing us. We all know this MPP government hasn't changed your uniform and shoes for 4 years now. We know the ones you are wearing is from your own pockets. Country broke or no broke, we all day inside. Anna, why can't the government be bold and Ghanaians and tell Ghanaians there's no free SHS? I've never seen a deceptive government than this MPP government in the history of Ghana. For the past 3 weeks, SHS across the country have organized PTA meetings in batches, group of schools at a time, and the objective is to let parents pay fees for their children. All forms, 3 students are paying 200 Ghana cedis a month. The other classes are paying amounts closer to 600 cedis for the feeding. So why is this MPP Nanado government in debt with all the electricity company? Okay, I think I've read that. What they do just is the drones have lost their bearings. Engage says RKB Nanado is BBC, born before computer. Udeduja, anyone who thinks burning the excavators is the right thing to do must be taking his or her advice on the wrong exit of their bodies. The people from Takwa and all the mining towns should wake up and fight for what belongs to them. NDC in Parliament are weak and disappointing. Is it because of the double salary scandal that made the NDC accept all the nominated ministers? Your guess is as good as mine. The president's response to the keeping of the excavators is childish, arrogant, and shows that he's not a leader but a dictator. Blame our parliamentarians for passing the rules minister are diverting. Is it because of the double salary blackmailing? I am Dolafia is also joining us. Lengi Chawinati, I've decided to go to Hammersmith, where I had the first jab with my card, for them to tell me how and when I took the second jab, because after the second jab, the card is endorsed. Now I don't know what to use your information for, Lengi. Franz Agra says, it's great to have a family you can relate to through the power of radio. Radio Gold is a family you can't do without. Good morning, Team Gold. Manchester United can rest in pieces now. Francis, your time they come. Samuel Abuaje says, Radio Gold is still kicking. Love that. Miss the night train. Okay, I know. Bala Isa says, Alhaji Abdullah, we are begging you with respect. This, okay, I think there's another issue. Also, Patient Sama Menu is also joining us, saying a good morning to us, wishing us all a blissful Thursday. Kofi, Lengi Chawanate, Kofi Nyade is there for a reason. Okay, thank you. Okay, he was explaining to for Kofi. Theophilus Otu is saying a good morning to us. May God provide and protect you for the wonderful job you're doing. Abdurrahman, a better calls for heavy rainfall is the first to feel the impact. I greet the Vice President, Togbi Alakpafia. Bala Isa says, if you will sit down and waiting for court, you will always be a loser. Do me, I do you is the best solution. Pakwesi Bedu says, welcome and good morning to you. Watching Nancy Afrewa and the entire team, keep up the good work. We'll make sure they account for all the money spent. We'll make sure this happens. This will be a warning to successive governments. John Ejiri says, good morning, bro. I'm watching you live from Shama. Nanado came to still destroy and kill, but DM will come to 2024 to restore everything that has been done under Nana Kufuado Kweko Kumi. Says, how come the honorary PhD awards to Kweko Bako by USPS somehow coincide with that of Opana by UCC? Over to you, Ghanaians. Dana Rosadofo Abe, hi, okay, be watching you people live. Please, where is okay? It's asking of Nancy. Nancy is fine. Lengi Chawanate, the road minister is trying to get to Parliament, hopefully after their tenure, which is why he's focusing on improving their road network. No, he's already a parliamentarian. Our road minister is a parliamentarian. Yeah, he's a parliamentarian, so he's not like trying to. He's in Parliament. I go for Fred Mason, Senator, please. Okay. I hear you. Dakwale says, Senator, good morning. And you're cool. Please check the. Okay. Peter Anaman says, good morning. Bless you all for the good work you're doing for Mother Ghana. I love Radio Go 905 FM. Zachariah Freedom is saying a good morning to us from Chibi. Abdurrahman Idrisu did that. There's a good morning to my beloved brother Sena and the entire Gold team. Radio Gold is coming back, inshallah. Abdurrahman, good morning. Alaji Sakura Ghana Salam. Good morning, watching from Saudi Arabia, now in Jeddah. Teofilo Zadika, your job is not to let people like you. Your job is not to change people's mind about you. Your job is to run your race as has been approved by God. Have a productive day. Good morning. Good morning to you. A vote to you. Abdurrahman, a new day has come. Thanks to nature for his continued sustainability to his dwellers. Good morning. Bozibeto, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Professor Jenana Opokwa Jima for 2024. Bozibeto, good morning. Lengi, technology is not always successful. I'm to take my second COVID-19 jab on the 10th of June, but technology says I have got my jab already. Is this not ridiculous? Lengi. Nana Franchi from Iceland, the land of ice and fire, Reykjavik, says Akufo-Addo in his MPP government are just 409 people. And the painful part is they don't have any idea about how to govern the country. Ghana is heading into a ditch. Blezo says good morning to you, Senator Boachi Nancy and the Gold team. God bless you. Anthony Kwashi Kuma says the best station in the capital of Accra, Ghana in the world. Abdurrahman, with the people of Kosmokaya greet the Vice President in the name of Togbi Alakpafia of Monamoble Republic of Ghana. Kumi, where is the concert minister? Is he aware of MPP judgment deaths? Piaga. Either Papa. Okay, thank you. Kwame Kumi says, please, there are no more armed forces. They have been reduced to a task force. Mahamadou Bulala Zangina says, Sana, never mind. He who fights and run away lives to fight another day. Good morning to you, or good luck next time. Mahamadou, thank you for being so charitable. Abdurrahman says, Ransom Bochi Adam. Okay, I think I've read that. And Baba Salisu, who talks about the fight against corruption and impunity in Ghana, is thank you. Albert Bracco says the Chinese excavator manufacturers are laughing, saying, I told you these African leaders are fools. They will come back to us to buy new ones after burning what they've seized. I knew this road minister wanted to join. And this is their modus operandi. Start by praising the president before the submission. That's how Bawumia speaks. Check the other. Same. Hajja says, let's praise the Lord for waking us up to listen to the only sensible and accurate radio station. May Allah continue to sponsor your sponsors. Thank you. Nana Frainchi, Sana, how can a sensible and innovative leader instruct for the burning of excavators? This is the kind of disrespect. Hey, very strong words. We Ghanaians allow EC and the Supreme Court. Okay. Nana Frainchi says, Akufo-Addo is such a joker and a scammer. Hey, so school fees is back with different name. It's called intervention. Mike Kwame Nkrumah says good morning to us, please. Okay, Mike, sorry. Estella Gracela is also joining us. Palo is also joining us. Deladem, good morning to you. Lengi has a long one for Sam George. I haven't heard Sam George. So I haven't talked about Sam George. I've watched Sam George. Abdurrahman says, so this from Dr. UK sounds like a tardiga. This doctor from UK sounds like a tardiga. Anyway, Sana, is the inquiry word asking, pronounce, asking? I keep on hearing from people who have authority on the Queen's language. Okay. Akukari Junior Tiero says a good morning to us, watching us live from Kojo Asempa Furniture West Edom Kumasi. Kobla, good morning. These people have emptied their coffers, and I'm wondering how the next government will run the economy. I'm honestly finding a suicide mission. God help us. Kwesi says, hello, and I'm sitting in a metro bus now, about to head to Hokwe and Pando. You want to know the state of the bus? It's like my heart is bleeding. My heart is held in my hands, begging for someone to save me. No one another says we are not Ghanaians. Kobla says, Martin, do you know the government has been slapped by with a $15 million judgment debt? I'm praying we don't acquire any more judgment debts to the recklessness of this burning of excavators. The money self will no get. No wonder he's saying they should go to court. Mohamed Sani Akime is saying he's an online lawyer in the UK. Nanado is not an online lawyer in the UK. Godwin Gonzana, okay, thank you, Godwin. Peter Aflak, okay, it's Pearl actually. Pearl, good morning. Good morning to all of you. Thank you very much. I think I went through as many of the messages as I can. I don't see everything. Okay. Nana French says the situation the country is facing now is very serious, but we seem to be playing with it. Let us be sharp, Ghanaian youth. Even here, that the government is strong. Schooling is not free. It's only teaching that is free. But any other thing we pay. And if you need help, you apply and get the money to pay yourselves. Government don't pay for you, so people understand they are responsible for their own payments. So there are several more messages that. Okay, so I guess I've gone through majority of them. Once again, a happy birthday to Socrates Cizero. I think Jet was sending something to me. Jet says the banner. So the banner comes with a too nice picture of the president. It should be the opposite. Jet Morgan, good morning. And a good morning to Neil Brown too. Well, I've seen the road, Neil Brown. I still don't have anything to say as yet. I don't have a problem with the road. Very nice road. Wonderful road. Fantastic road from Kwabeng area. My name is Sena Nombo. Social media was by Godwin. Godwin was in charge. You watch us on YouTube and also on Facebook. It's because of Godwin. Big thank you to Eric Boateng, who was the producer of the show. George Martinson is sitting right across from me, and my co-host who always bows early, Ransford Kwesi Boachi, will take over tomorrow on the show. Do make a date and enjoy the rest of your day. Let me say a good morning to Prophet Dennis Ho. It's been a while. A good morning to you. And Tim Agi to a good morning. I saw Peggy. A good morning to Doc. A good morning to Mama B, who also sent some messages. And thank you all. And to my good brother Emmanuel Dusu. Patrick Kubesika, good morning to you. And good morning to Mr. George Lawson at Tabuachi. In the wake of what is happening in the free SHS thing, I have a small advice for our government, but I'll play it in this song from his. Well, once again, a happy birthday to Socrates Zero, Benjamin Suman, the champion, and to also Fred Tete Jabano of CTFM.
John le baby plegamela signo, ya daimelekis. 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 Nameleki sukaye kao Onyaya Lima shwame bowo media meo Boto wombo Enye hama no nyanye chipo Nameleki sukaye kao Onyaya Lima shwame bowo